Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. That we kind of called a Loony Left. That's kind of what we do. Kind of what I'm calling it. I might get a little logo for it. Damn it, I'm missing something. But anyway, we back up in here. Shout out to everybody in the building. Those of you that made it in thus far. Shout out to E. Capone, came through and put 5 on it bright and early. Do appreciate you. And I gotta get, here it go. Okay. Couldn't find my mouse pad. I was winging it. But shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to E. Capone again, coming through, putting 5 on it. There's this link right there. Go check the brother out. Free Zone Lou in the building. Do appreciate you coming on through. Just being jazzy, coming through, saying hey to Mac, the trucker in the building. Patricia Coley in the building says, I really dig the beat. Happy Saturday morning, Bernard in chat. Thank you. Hood Conservative right there in the building. Ryan James. And speaking of Hood Conservative, who dropped a comment right there, we are joined by the one and only, the infamous Hood Conservative Culture and Politics Reviews. What's going on? What's up, man?
Good morning. Thank you for having me one more Saturday.
Yeah, you tired. You said that in the back that you felt like.
Yeah, I know. I gotta. Later on, after we do the show, I'm gonna go run to the dentist. I'm dying over here.
The dentist?
The dentist. I got like a crazy toothache. I think it's like infected or something, and it happened yesterday morning. So I'll try to catch a dentist today. I don't know if I can catch one open on the weekend. We'll see.
Man, I didn't know you could even do like an emergency run to the dentist. I thought that was by appointment.
They have some. I was just looking it up. They do. So one of these guys is going to get my money later.
Yeah, man. But all right, so let's get into this. 50 people in the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button as we get going and get started here. We do got a number of things on the table as usual, but give us the Marvel origin story of this Dennis Sperling. Really, dude? Really?
Yeah, internet is undefeated.
I don't even know what to do with that one. But
All right, but so
yeah, yeah,
we were talking in the back about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So big shout out to Edward Anderson. And it's weird. I'm like a recent listener to his channel, but I've known him from these YouTube streets forever. But it's hard to listen to every single person that you ever come across in YouTube world. So I'm listening to Ed a lot more lately, and I tend to agree. He says a lot of words, but he's usually spot on with most of them. So I kind of fuck with Ed a lot on that level. Now I'm listening to him the other day, and he's commenting on. Let me see if I can pull the lady's post up. Shez Sharday. Now, she's a black female YouTuber. I'm not all that familiar with her.
Yeah,
is it Shay
she's
Sharday?
She's been on my show a couple times. Yes, it's Shay Sharday. Yeah, the Shay is some other, I don't know, French or something. The Z is silent. Don't worry about it. It's Shay Sharday.
Yeah, okay.
Or Sharday, if you want to. Yeah.
Now, she put up a post the other day, and she probably did a video. I really couldn't follow up on it because I'm totally unfamiliar with the girl, but she put up a post, and I'm going to read it to you right now. Actually, can I share the screen real quick so you can just see the post yourself? Because this is something Edward shared along with the video he dropped. And what she's saying here is proof that it's not just men being radicalized online. Young women and girls are being radicalized by crazy, insane, male-hating cesspools of insanity. Like shout out to the divestment crew. In her words, right, this woman admits that she had no real life experience that would give her a reason to hate black men. No, it was social media that taught her. Yeah, wow. I'm gonna not read the whole thing, but this is the picture that she posted that she's commenting on. So according to whatever young lady made this post here, she writes, surprisingly, I didn't have much negative experiences with black men that shaped the type of mentality that I have now. It was really social media that opened my eyes about them. I'm sorry, sis, but I think you're the one that may need some help. Now, that is the entirety of the post right there. And what I kind of want to do is lay out the context that Edward kind of started yesterday with this notion that black men, we don't need male dating coaches to convince us that women are crazy. We don't need Kevin Samuels in a suit with some candles in the background to convince us that y'all broads be tripping. We got y'all to convince, y'all radicalizing us. And so that's kind of my stance on the whole thing. And that's why I sent you a lot of different types of videos, wide, diverse selection of black women in their natural habitats. And I'm like, if you look at what they're actually doing, do you really need the internet to radicalize you?
Right. Understandable. That's something that I won't even say it's been some debate about that, because it's really not debate. It's been more so that's one of the straw man arguments that get floated out there, that people online is telling, like, that you're poisoning the minds of a young black male youth. And yes, I said youth with the F. You're poisoning the minds of the youth saying the things that you're saying. It's not their real experience. You're just planting the seed in their head. And I can speak to this, and granted, okay, it's you get that sometimes in chat rooms. Yeah, it may be somebody who's just trying to just pour a little more, gasoline on the fire. He's young, he haven't experienced this, haven't experienced that, but he just like, yeah, he just trying to, rev things up. Sometimes you get that in the chat room. But what I hear from most of the people with a microphone, I hear people who have lived things, who spoke from experience, who's done research on various things, and they're presenting what they found. They're presenting the data that they found, or they're referring to studies, or they're speaking from outright experience. The whole so the notion that that people are just being radicalized into believing things, like I don't see that on our end. Like we didn't have a long, multi-decade long propaganda frenzy on the market to where we've radicalized people. Like, no, it's like men have stepped up and started speaking their mind and saying what they're seeing and what they're observing and what they're experiencing or what they have experienced. And yeah, that's the reality of it. They don't like the mirror that's being held up, so they're trying to say that they're trying to pretend like we're just pulling it out of our ass. That's a big thing that's going on here. But it's interesting. You put up a damn good clip right there where a woman kind of just admitted that, yeah, it's kind of pulled out of the ass, basically. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. Definitely interesting.
I mean, men often get accused of not listening and downplaying women's concerns and criticisms and all that. But the reality of it is, it's like if you actually do some investigating, there's not. It's not quite what they want you to believe it is. And once you hold the mirror to their own face, they fall apart. And that's just the reality of it. Like, maybe your criticisms are more emotionally based than they are factually based. And that's just the reality.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Definitely.
There's one thing I wanted to start out with.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Like for videos. Do you have that one clip? What was it? The Bad Bitch Olympics?
Yeah, I got that one, man. I was so close to doing some satirical content on that one. I ended up not doing it just because I just didn't find the time to squeeze it in. But so I'm glad we can go ahead and we I don't even know what that got to do with the subject, but we'll throw that one in.
Oh, it has everything to do with the subject. I told you, Black women in their natural habitat.
Oh man, but that was at the tail end. That ain't the one you want to start with, is it? That's good.
No, I was saying that, but we could do it however you want to go. I just think that is like the most hilarious thing. Like,
yeah, that
really can't see yourselves.
That one is more comedy and satire. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. You know what it reminded me of? And I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. They was doing like some kind of hood Olympics where they was like, like where you had to run, get chased by some pit bulls, hop over a fence, and then like break into a car and see how fast you can, like, hot wire it and drive off. Like that was like it was like that was like a ghetto Olympic sporting event. So when they said the Bad Bitch Olympics and all them chicks in there dressed in they trashy bad bitch uniforms, talking about all reeling off their stat sheet and everything. I'm like,
making sound effects. Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all?
I'm like, Olympics, what are they doing? Like, what is the competition? Who can do what the best? That's what I was looking at that, trying to figure out. So yeah, we we're gonna mess with that one. We're gonna mess with that one later in the show. I do want to kind of go in the order that you sent them to me, because it was good. It was interesting. You sent me a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it's diverse stuff here, because it's like there's no one sector of like social interaction where no, they totally cool when they do that. Like, no, apparently they crazy about everything everywhere you put them.
Just an interesting side note. I had a discussion with a chick last night on another channel. Now I don't even want to advertise this because I don't want y'all to run over there, but just put it like this.
I just saw that. I didn't even know you were doing that. I just saw that. I was looking that up, and somebody else like posted that you had did that whole show.
This was my final conclusion. When after the show was over, I just recapped the whole conversation, where the topic of a woman being beautiful or not, the woman that Jordan Peterson said wasn't beautiful, that came up. A woman's lack of femininity, or high femininity, low femininity, that whole thing came up. What makes a woman a hoe, all of that, all of those three things came up in the conversation. Every time she made an argument that nobody can say that a woman is not beautiful, nobody can say that a woman is not feminine, and nobody can say that a woman is not a hoe. Like, every single thing, she basically made an argument that basically says that essentially there can be no standard. No matter what she do, no matter how bad she walking around, beating her chest, grabbing her nuts, cussing people out, we can't say that she's not feminine because the situation made her do that. So she had to do it. No matter how many guys she slept with, you just can't throw it out there that she's a hoe because of A, B, C, and D. No matter how fat and ugly she is, you can't throw it out there that she's not beautiful because of A, B, C, and D. So I was just like, she just arguing for no standard. Like, that was the whole gist of that whole thing. But before we get into the clips, we are joined by Edward Anderson. I sent him the link. Yeah, this show is inspired by you, Edward Anderson, because yeah, you did a stream last night where you touched on this topic, and that's what we decided to piggyback on today. So before I pass it to you, Valet Waste Disposal in the building says most women we debate and try to come to term with mentally and emotionally unstable beings. I think he means terms with our mentally and emotionally unstable beings. Yeah. Shout out to Valet Waste Disposal. Appreciate the super chat. But all right. Before we even get into rolling some not so beautiful bean footage, we got Edward Anderson in the building. I guess you can go ahead and give us just your I guess the general cliff notes of what you talked about last night, because yeah, you did inspire this conversation. So it was only fair to send you the link. So go ahead. What was your stream about when you was talking about the radicalization of black men, or the supposed radicalization of black men? I think it was called the myth of the radicalized black male. Go ahead and speak on that. What was your general point on that?
All right, well, I appreciate it. What's up, Hood Conservative? I know Hood Conservative be sneak. He be when he want to hear some of the rants, he comes over. So I appreciate that. Um, was pretty much that was me talking shit. Because Shay Sade actually inspired that because she was talking about how you got women that don't. She did a post where you got women that never even had a bad experience from a black man. This is what literally she put a post of a chick saying, "I've never had a bad experience with a black male, but now I understand listening to basically the females, what black women go through." And so now she's basically on the train. It was kind of a similar situation as to when Lil Big Nate was on. You had that light skinned chick, that young chick. And then literally she was speaking through the programming, and over time she started to realize, let's just say she was getting, it's literally that situation. And that's a lot more common than what we talk about, because the truth is the dudes are a lot more independent minded, and they're not taught to really agree with black men anyway like that. So unless they really agree with it or they've seen it, they're gonna have what I call red pill resistance, or you all are conservative resistance. If you're like coming from the I mean, y'all deal with it in that on that front as well. They'll just disagree when they know the logic's not there. Like you've seen that with Clarence, you've seen that with a lot of situations. So that was me piggybacking off of that, because this radicalization thing is a buzzword. And I mean, that was just me talking shit from there. So we can have a conversation here rather than me relating. I will say this though, that really annoyed me. That E Black shit, and shout out to E Black. I'm not hating on him for making content. And for somebody of his size, I get why he wouldn't have Tawana on there. But I also did a stream called Tawana Don't Know What the Fuck She's Talking About. And I did a rant, and I basically broke that down. I mean, she's just a Chicago chick. At the end of the day, if I was talking to Tawana, this is what I would tell her. I'm not here to negotiate with you. I'm here to tell you what men think, what generally the men you want think, the men that they have the ability to pick or not pick think, generally within certain parameters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're here to articulate that. Our space isn't here to articulate that to y'all, but our space is to but we do articulate it. I mean, that's one thing Kevin did, at least for a certain segment of men. We're not here to have a negotiation. I when I think of talking to her, I think of the Treaty of Versailles. When you lost World War One, now we're gonna tell you what's about to happen to divide up the land. Now we can be nice about it, or we can have an attitude about it. And she tries to be nice, but when you hear, like, for instance, the thing that stuck out to me there was when she said that I don't want to hear what black men think is a hoe because black men are hypersexual, in general.
Yeah.
And I'm like, black men are hypersexual because they're socialized that way by black women. Now, part of that is the greater society as well, but black women socialize them for that. Like that's you all doing that to black boys at a very young age, whether they'll be light skinned, literally looking at their genitals when they're born. I've seen that. So, and she knows this. That's what kills me. She knows it. So my thing is, when she says shit like that, it's like you're projecting like a motherfucker. You really are. And That's the thing that
Well,
stuck
she
out to me.
said black men can't call a can't call a woman a hoe. She says, why? The reason she said is because, well, they're sexual deviants. And I asked her, okay, they're being sexual deviants with who? Like who? like who's their dance partner in this whole?
Well, first of all, that's white. Like, and I'm really serious. Black women are starting to sound. Red Supreme played that. Black women are really starting to sound like white supremacists. Like, for real, that's white supremacist rhetoric. Like, when you say a black man is a sexual deviant, that is literally right out of the KK, the Klan's mouth. That's right out of The Birth of a Nation, not Nate Parker's Birth of a Nation, but the original. Hollywood is based around that. So literally, you're really giving the same rhetoric that a lot of these liberal white feminists give, which is why they got an abortion clinic by every black female neighborhood. I mean, that's absolute white supremacist, liberal white supremacist rhetoric. What literally that statement. And my thing is, this is coming from a group of women that say that you're lame. Like, this is out of y'all's mouth. You don't hear other people saying that like that. So it's crazy because, and then on top of that, women control sexual access. So you say black men are sexual deviants. What are we talking about? Because you all are the ones picking the niggas y'all are fucking. So if y'all don't want to say, it's either be a sexual, let's say I give her that. So either you got to be a sexual deviant or you're going to be boring. Who gets more pussy in the black community? And that's a black female's choice.
The funny thing you said,
black men, you can't call them sexual deviants and then criticize them and say they lame.
Me and hood conservative are weird because we're north of 30 with no kids.
Exactly.
Well, I have kids, but
my bad. Well, I'm the weirdo. Cool. I'm the weirdo with no kids.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. Using the chat. I did some content on that, and Judge Zilla came up and said it's to the point where he practically will just lie and tell women, "Oh yeah, I got kids. They're grown now." Don't worry.
I heard that. Yeah, because that Columbia dude came up.
Yeah. He said he literally does that because he's too many times has been on a date. I think he's over 40, and he tells him no, he don't got no kids, and he get like a side eye, a step back. Now they questioning what's wrong with him. So it's like
that's his fault.
Yeah,
because he's dating black women. Because only black women ask that question. Go ahead, conservative.
But yeah.
No, you were talking about the women and the sexualization of boys, and it's so cringe because, like, you know what I just covered? Teaching kids the pole. That there's somehow, for some reason, that is a new trend, and it's not just a black thing. I mean, obviously, a lot of black girls are in the videos I use, but basically, they're teaching their kids the stripper pole as like a athletic exercise. You know, the pole is going to get your kids in shape. It's going to get your boys ripped and stuff. Like, this is what they're doing now.
TikTok so, like, the nerve of y'all.
Yeah, the nerve of y'all to say we are hypersexualized. Like, I wonder why.
Oh, I have that clip. Oh, I actually might have that clip. Of the boy. Sure you want to see it?
I couldn't really play a lot of those clips I found.
Y'all referring to that clip because conservative, you did send me something of it was a boy with a diaper on.
And he was
swinging around a stripper pole. That one you can play. That one you should play right now because this is what's like. This is the life, man.
Man,
like this is what's really going on out here in these streets, man. Nobody wants to look at this stuff.
Yeah, and
got the babies and what do you call them things? He got his pull-ups on. He did like 8 spins down the pole, bro.
Yeah,
flawlessly too.
That's true. But yeah, man. So when you hear that, see, Tawana would cuss me the fuck out because the thing is, she's got this tick. I noticed that when she talked to Kevin, like she's got this tick to where she's trying to control her anger. Like the fucking Hulk, I'll be like, I'll drive that shit up the wall real quick because number one, I know how because I'm from Chicago. But number two, like she needs to talk to somebody like Corey Holcomb. They can kind of talk that shit, but do it in a comedic way, so she don't take it as seriously. But again, when she's saying black men are sexual deviants, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But like you all are, again, the half of black men don't even have kids. Y'all are man sharing. Y'all are going out of your way to pick I got a different one. But sexual deviance. It's insane.
Look at them go. It's like somebody keeps spinning them. Like, how you keep revolving like that? Is the pole lubricated? What the hell?
You're not gonna see no man uncontrolling no kids doing that because society ain't even like the law ain't gonna let them get even close to that. So, but you want to talk about separation.
We don't give up.
And notice how when she brought it up, because then you said it smart. You was like, well, who can call you a hoe then? And she said, well, we don't deal with nobody else. So again, it's like you're not being genuine. Tawana constantly argues in bad faith. It's kind of really when she shows up, it's really, I'm a bad black B. And I'm gonna try to be nice about it, but you gonna lay the fuck down. That's really the how she comes across. And really you kind of gotta let her know up front. Like this idea that I got to put up with that bullshit, I don't know where you get that from. Like, as far as it's the way she talks is there's no other female on the planet other than black women. And it's like, yo, no. Because she was saying was absolutely off the chains, man. She never committed to something. Because the thing, this is where I'm going to say this and then I'm done. This is where I would went to it. I would say, fine, Tawana, tell me what a hoe is. Give me an example of what you would consider a hoe. You do not.
She couldn't. The way she described it is basically you can't say a woman is a hoe. That would have been the smart thing to do. Put a number on it. Put a body count number on what you think a hoe is.
And I've done that. 10, 20, 30, 40. I would have said this. Okay, fuck the body count. I'll give you the body count. Would you say a female that don't know the father, let's say they got 2 kids by 2 different men, but they don't know who the father of their kids is? Would you say that's a hoe? No.
She gonna dance on that one.
Then I would have said, so is it in your opinion that there's no such thing as a black female that's a hoe? And if she would have played the game, well, okay, so it's either that's your position or you're just not smart enough to define it and articulate it. One of those, or you're a liar. One of those 3 are true. So we're going to deal with one, and then E Black would be like, come on, man. No, fuck that E Black. I'm not saying nothing else till we get this because fuck me. This is for the audience.
Yeah.
And then she would have got mad.
Her position is, and this is how I know, no matter what you would have asked her, she would have danced around it, because I just came to the conclusion at the end on every topic that came up, there was to be no standard. There's nothing a woman can do to be considered a hoe. There's no way the woman can look and be called not beautiful. There's no actions and behaviors a woman can engage in and be called not feminine. That was the conclusion at the end of the discussion.
And that's why black women can't take their ass to no other group of men, including interculturally at large, because a lot of them think that. That's why they are right there. Is why y'all at the fucking bottom, not because of your color, because of that.
Yeah,
because it's like being the New York fucking Knicks. Go ahead, my bad.
I was going to say that the other men out there are going to be a lot more critical and probably a lot more creative about it. Like, you guys are talking about what makes a hoe, and I was thinking about something I watched years ago. There's a guy, he's a white guy in the MGTOW world. Bro, his name is I forget his name. He's a military guy. It's on the tip of my tongue, but everybody might have heard of him too, because he's like he's an ex-Ranger. He's did like competitive kickboxing and stuff like that, and he talks about red pill stuff and all that, men's rights or whatever. And he had this joke long time ago. Basically, it's a mathematical formula. It says, all right, if the average guy has a length of, his base length is X, right? And a woman has, X amount of boyfriends per year. If you add that length up over a lifetime, you're talking about miles of cock. And once he kind of laid it out, I was like, oh, wow. That almost sounds true. It could be true. We talk about miles and miles for some chicks.
I know you want to get into the clips, but it's like let me hold on one second. You play the clips. I got some clips.
It was Terrence Pop. Thank you, Terrence Pop.
But white dudes aren't playing this game. And like Latin dudes are not playing this game. I mean, shit, Latin women say Latin dudes are very similar to black women as far as how they get down, as far as how they deal with their women. I've heard that from a couple of Latin females, like that dynamic. They're not playing. So we know y'all ain't going nowhere because this is y'all ideology, and y'all expect us to just sit here and deal with that shit, which is why y'all are just around broke motherfuckers. Because only broke niggas is looking for a place to stay are gonna really put up with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. But all right, let's go get into the first clip here. I think a lot of people probably seen this one by now. Hood Server, you want to set this one up before we just dive right in?
Yeah, I didn't know this. I suspected it, but I didn't know this. I didn't get confirmation until this clip came out. Apparently, nothing that you achieve in life matters unless you're good to a black woman. You cannot be a great black man unless you are loving and faithful to your black woman. That's the new rule. So that's how they're going to lay out this argument against MLK.
Right on. Let's see.
It's more important, the fact that Martin Luther King is the man that fought for freedom, or the fact that he was cheating on his wife?
Jesus. I'm gonna give you this example. He's a great father. He's a great businessman. He's a great CEO. He's an entrepreneur. He's such a boss.
He's a boss.
Look at that man. He's a boss. He's a great father. Look at him, that strong black man.
Look at him being at his kid's game.
But you're cheating on your wife. You're not a good husband. But he's great in all these other aspects. How are you a great leader, a great CEO, a great black man? You're not great. You're not great. God, you're not. That is triggering.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm a good dad. You're not a good dad because you don't respect me. How the fuck you showing these kids you a good father and you don't respect their mother? You're not a great dad, my nigga. You're an okay human.
Someone being a good person to you means they're a good person to you. Someone being a good person to everyone means that they are a good person. It's more important, the fact that...
All right.
Are black women good people to everyone?
They will actually...
That was the scenario she just laid out, right? She said, you have to be a good person to everyone.
Wasn't Maya Angelou selling pussy?
Slanging that thing.
I mean,
wasn't Aretha Franklin pimping?
Yeah, before she got with those three white men. I mean, if you want, this is what I would say to Simone, Miss Simone. I can't stand that goddamn cut she got in her thing. Thinking she cute.
Oh man,
she's what I call an almost bitch. You know, you all, yeah. What that means is she looks real good with a couple of shots, but she talks too damn. I know I talk too damn much, but she's got too much energy. I hate females that try too hard to be funny. I don't find women funny for the most part. There's exceptions to this rule, but women that really try to be funny, like waving your hands real fast and more intense, is not you being funny. But seriously, but at the end of the day, I was like, if we play the tit for tat bullshit, you're not gonna like where that ends up. Like, you're not gonna like that, because we can go through every female that is famous and really drag their ass out a hell of a lot more than what y'all can us, because we know black men know we ain't shit. We don't sit here and pretend we not. Y'all the ones that's got the delusion that y'all are a goddess. Go ahead.
Nah, and she's got this energy. I think I was trying to like describe it perfectly, and I'm gonna call it black female rapper energy. You listen to what your average black female rapper is talking about. Because see, girls don't really, they can't talk about, I was trying to hustle my way up on the block and all that, the gunslinging and stuff. Most female rappers, they just can't get into that. So what do they talk about for the most part? I'm going to run this nigga. I'm going to use this pussy to get this, that, and the third. And it's a weird type of energy where it's like, I mean, honestly, we're going to keep it a buck. You're good for nothing at this point.
B. Simone is the type of chick that you want something from her to fuck her. You're not fucking her for free.
Right. She got to buy me some Jordans.
It's not that she's ugly, but it's like, we know you know how to make some money. No, for real. Especially, and this is like, you just get that. I'm not even trying to slay her. Okay, let's stick to what she said. Like I said before, and O'Shea made that point with as far as the three men, but three white dudes, which I'm not even going that route, because you can be a decent person. I'm saying, wasn't she selling pussy? I hate to say it that way, but that's what it was. She was a prostitute for a second. I mean, for a while, not just a second. The thing is, if you want to dig that, like I could go with Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was and she was a drug addict before. Bobby was smoking weed.
She got Bobby
Whitney
strung
got
out.
on the hard shit. Yeah, so let's not play that game. Bobby was just smoking weed.
Bobby too good to admit what Whitney did to him. He don't want to be honest about how Whitney ruined his life. He still loves Whitney.
Well, I'm saying dead ass. And guess what? Now, and Whitney was so fucked up. They try to blame Bobby for this. Her own daughter, the way she died. I mean, if we want, we could do it for. Look. You want to talk about these? Don't get me started on Jada Pinkett with and Mary J. Blige, them the fucking minors. This is what Daz not Dillinger, a dude from Insecure. This stuff is out here. And we want to go into the greats, as far as the civil rights activists and people like that's people that's clean for the most part, like Dr. Francisco as well. But a lot of y'all them got that. So you talking about. So what you want to go on is because somebody cheated. This is the black female ego. And by the way, that rhetoric only plays in the black community. I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry, I gotta say it.
Facts.
I gotta say this. I wouldn't say this is true in this country, but there's other countries that if a female even spoke that shit out, like motherfuckers would get disappeared. Like black women can uniquely do what they do in this country and in the black community. Because if they did that outside of this community, well, she wouldn't. And then she wouldn't. End of story. We're not even gonna say she wouldn't do it if she was talking to a Latin person or this person. And by the way, if she was sincere, that's what I would look for. Remember, this is the B Simone. I'm gonna tell you how weird she is. We were just talking about babies on the stripper pole, right? This is the chick that thought it was a good idea, good joke to say, "Oh, Latin women are so feminine. They're so sexy. They come out of the vagina under the pole as babies. So sexy." This is her that thought that was cool to say, So anyway,
yeah, this is something that I've been hearing for a while. Like I've heard a lot of stuff on this. Like, and I'm pretty sure she would go that next step further because I heard a chick going as far to say that I don't care how good of a dad you are to these kids, if you're not with me, you don't get to be a dad to them. Like she was basically laying out the case that if you're not with me, you leave me, we break up. She basically literally just laid it out. I'm putting every hurdle, every mountain, everything in your way to be a good father. Because you don't get to be that.
That
predicate. You don't get to be that unless you're doing right by me, you're doing exactly what I want you to do. Then you don't, your relationship with your kids, all that is done. And this is really just a play on that. They taking somebody as great as Martin Luther King that he did. I mean, he cheated on his wife. She's taking that and saying that no, we washing everything away. You didn't treat that woman exactly how she wanted to be treated.
Now juxtapose that against a Latin chick, they'll say, "I hate that motherfucker," but he is a good dad. But I hate that motherfucker, and that's something I've heard multiple times. Again, that's a culture thing, and again, this is where I'm gonna just say it. Ramil is not. I understand. Look, I don't have kids, so let me say that because that does need to be said. I don't think Ramil has kids, but when you think about that, with what I know. That's the type of shit that as soon as them kids start turning on you, it's like you can have other ones. This is why when Ramil talked that fucking abandonment shit, like I understand that that's easy said and done. Let me acknowledge that up front. But it's somebody that thinks the way I think, now it's like, no. You can't. It's too bedded in the culture. This is why if I have kids, it'll probably be somebody overseas for that reason. But yeah, man, you almost have to be like that. And I always say, if you got to be like that, if it's to the point where you got to be willing to walk away from your kids because how a female is, then at that point you have to admit to yourself the pool is so bad that you might as well pick from a different pool. I remember when Jason. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to jump in and say that little reality is something I had personally had to grapple with just because I'm going through it at a certain point. And it's like, damn, I had no idea shit could be like this. And then now I'm starting to get it. Like, I totally understand the walk away now. It makes perfect sense because you want to every damn day. It's like, it's a legit option. Like, why not just quit? You can have all this.
Yeah, I'm not with the walk away shit, but I have heard some stories. I've heard some stories where I had to just say, hey, I understand.
I'll give you how.
I'll just say that, but
I'll give you how this usually goes now. How it usually goes down. How it usually goes down is, let's say you win in court, or you get a favorable thing, something that's like, okay, I can live with this, but the chick won't. It's either all or nothing, and then they leave and they take the kids out of state. It's like, okay, I'm not chasing that shit. Now
That no, no,
I've
I was
heard.
about to say that
Okay, go
was
ahead.
the exact walkaway situation where a dude
Yep.
realized that he basically was chasing a woman all across the damn country. She was finding a way to move on purpose, and because she was the primary custodial parent, she could, and that was just that. So if he wanted, regular access to his kids, he basically had to follow her. He had followed her around the country a few times. He's moving, repositioning his life, doing all kind of stuff, and he's sitting there. I'm chasing this woman all around the country. He just said, basically, I'm just going to keep record of
Eh,
everything, and when the kids get old enough to come talk to
Yep.
me, I'm
That's
going to
usually what
prove
they say.
everything to them. I'm going to roll
Yo,
it all out,
And
and they're
here's
going to
what's
see
great.
what they're going to see what the truth is, and I'm just going to leave it like that.
Bernard,
You gotta
So he
roll
he
that
just
Let me
dice.
moved
tell you
on.
some real shit. I gotta tell you some real shit, bro. Like, I told people my father passed last summer, and my dad, he had about 5 boys, all different women. He's from the island. He's out there slinging it. We was laughing about that shit. We got together. We went to Myrtle Beach a couple weeks ago. So me and my brothers, and we kind of had like our own little thing for our father, whatever. So we were my oldest brother, who was handling the whole affairs, the executor of the estate and whatnot. He gave us all our own little docket that our father kept of his attempts to be in our lives, because like all of us had different relationships with him, and they know him at different points in his own life, because like my dad had me when I think he was like, I don't know. I was his second kid, basically. So there's 5 other boys. I mean, 5 boys total, rather. And so we're all talking, and my father, he saved an envelope just for me. So I get my envelope, and it's like years worth of fucking check stubs, bro. I mean, a stack of check stubs. He got like records from my time when I actually lived with him for a year. Like he was holding on to that stuff, and now he's gone, and all his sons are sitting around like, damn, this motherfucker wanted you to know. No matter what them bitches said, I was running around after
Hey,
y'all little niggas,
conservative, your dad was ahead of his time, because that actually
bro.
sparked a really great idea. If y'all got kids, automatically journal up, keep the receipts. We in the digital age where that shit is a lot easier. It's probably more impactful having hard receipts though. And you let this chick know, motherfucker, I'm gonna win today, I'm gonna win tomorrow. You think, because the truth is, you either have to go into a level of denial that will fuck you up. Like when you look at like 50 Cent and his son choosing his mom over him, and 50 Cent's a petty dude. 50 Cent will let that show up in the money, because he got kids by that. I forget what that like half Asian chick. Especially if you do to get to a level where you can kind of do that. But at the end of the day, that level of denial is not mentally healthy. So eventually you're gonna have to face the truth. And what's ironic is the dude that I actually am speaking on, his daughter didn't turn on him. It was his son that turned on him. His daughter actually took his side, and she was the oldest. So when she grew up, because she kind of knew what the deal was, because obviously you observe your parents, but at the end of the day, you need to do that. But even if you do decide to go on your own way and do the abandonment game, you need to have a record of that, and put as much evidence as possible, and let them know if you effed up, that's her. You can say what you want, but like I said, that's usually how it works. If dudes leave, and I've seen dudes that try to argue you should never abandon your kids. Well, I'm like, the problem with that is twofold. Number one, if you some of these situations, black girls and black boys, where these kids have been killed by these women, or when they win a court case and say they can't leave. There's been a couple of articles where that's happened. Pink Book covered that, a couple other people covered that with the
Yeah, I've
black
seen it
girls
too.
and all of that.
A
Exactly. And then
supermodel one time did that.
yep. And the other thing too, so they may do something to the kids, or you may do what that dude did, which is take out the female and then kill yourself. And that happened that was that dude with the nurse that made like a 6 figures. That happened a couple. So the thing is, and that depends on what your mental state is. So when you put yourself in that this is why I call it financially transmitted disease.
Well, Ed, stop right there. The whole thing about mental state, and I bring up these uncomfortable notions because it's something we have to talk about if we're going to really be honest about like who we and what we are as people, as these physical beings. Why do you think? What do you think is the mental process of honor killings? Why is it a thing in certain cultures?
Oh, you're asking me? I mean, shit. The shit they be doing that for is a lot less than what we talking about. I mean, they'll do that they'll do that just for simple. Bitch, you're not a virgin. Sometimes.
What I'm getting at, though, you're right. But what I'm really trying to get at is that the male ego. When the male ego is attacked in certain ways, it will lash out in its own way. And I think that's what the honor killing phenomena is really like, men violently protecting their sense of honor and their personal ego.
But that's also,
you don't get much of that in the Black community, though.
Yeah,
not in that way.
That's also, but to be, wow, I'm getting put in a position where that's more of a breach of social contract in certain cultures. So like,
true,
and this is so in certain, and let me be very clear here. I'm not throwing at it at like just Islam. That's also depending on what country you're in as to the process of how they go about doing that. It's the same thing with men, is if you steal, they take a hand, like Sharia law or some stuff like that. You know, that's enforced on men to a certain extent on certain things too. But with women, it's basically an absolute breach of social contract. And the truth is, there's a lot of women that participate. This is what nobody tells you. Women participate in that shit too. You know, so my point is, we're not here's why this is important, because I want to bring this back. We're not advocating for that. What we're saying is that's not, because that is not even a speakable option in here, because I'm not going to jail for nobody for nothing. Let me be very clear about that as far as where Edward Anderson stands on that. So turning them into a check and basically walking away and then telling the story later is a viable option. It depending on how crazy this woman is. I know dudes that they literally take care of their kids. You know how they get access to their kids and get around the courts, Bernard?
Yeah.
They say, I'll give you the check like I'm paying child support. You just let me raise the kids. Now, I'm not doing that either.
Had that.
I know a couple of dudes
had that same deal.
And he
raised his daughter all the way through college, paying his mama off. What would you call it? It's extortion money, basically. Paying his baby mama extortion money and putting the girl all the way through school.
I've heard a nigga call that reverse dowry. I don't even want to
say this, but that's kind of in an unspoken way. That's kind of what happened. But she worked it that way because she won in court, and after she won in court, to where she was able to get the money, then she didn't care if the kids was with me. So I ended up doing that. I ended up raising them, having a majority of the time while paying. And then when I talk about that long fight that I had to do, a lot of that fight was just to make sure that I'm not basically paying twice. And by paying twice, I mean actually paying to take care of them like a normal parent and paying child support like a weekend dad. So that's what the fight was mostly for. So I, in a de facto way, you know, I didn't negotiate it like that, but that's what she fought to make it.
You accepted. You was like, all right, I did all this fighting. This gets it to like an equilibrium. This is bullshit, but this is bullshit. I can stomach.
No, I couldn't stomach it. I was happy because
can't afford it.
I had my kids, so I was happy about that.
Well, are you doing that now?
Oh hell no! I did. I went back to court and I won. But again, it was a long.
You got to a checkpoint.
I was fighting it from the start. I was just I lost a lot of rounds, and then I had to come back later. And then they tried to pull some bullshit when I came back because they said, I ain't even about to get into that. It's a long story. They tried to pull some stuff about my work schedule and how that was preventing me from having the kids the time that I was saying. And I was like, but I'm already having them during that time. So then I had to basically collect I had to collect a bunch of proof, and then I went in and presented the proof, and then they tried to argue, well, you just had them during this time just so you could say, look, I got 4 or 5 months worth of proof. And I was like, okay. I collected 2 years worth of proof and then dropped that shit on the desk that, look, I've been paying child support. I had them during all these days. They were supposed to be with her. They were with me, and I can prove it. I literally, so I had to go in there and prove that I had them all this time that I had them. I'm just asking y'all to make the court-ordered schedule reflect what we're already actually doing in reality. That shouldn't be a problem. And then they had to eventually concede that, okay, that shouldn't be a problem. And they just made it, they didn't make it look like what we was doing in reality, but they did just basically eliminate the child support and just made it 50-50 on paper. But even then, once it was 50-50 on paper, I still had them more than the 50-50 on paper. But so my whole fight was just to eliminate having to pay child support for kids that I was already raising. That was the fight that I was in. So that's why I say in a de facto way, she did work it that way. She did work it that way to where I was raising them and she was getting a check. But I didn't accept it. That's what I fought to overturn.
Yeah,
so,
but yeah. And the fact, I mean, and the thing about it is, I don't want to play. That's like, I don't want to play the "it's who you pick" game. You know, like when you start doing stuff like that, there's so much wrong with that. And real talk, because the way dudes do it, dudes are gonna go straight. The shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line, and that's really where dudes want to go. And what they want to do, and this goes back to what Hood Server trying to say, they want to solve the problem quick. You know, and really, you know, they don't really want to abandon their kids. So then you become an obstacle. And this is where when people try to act like it's just so retarded.
Yeah. Yeah. A story to tell in the building. Make sure y'all check out that brother. I think it's Jay, a story to tell. Type in his name and it should pop up. You type in that. Yeah, you type in that. It should pop right up. But moderators, drop his link in the chat and make sure y'all dropping Hood Servative and Edward Anderson link in the chat. All right, I already see you wanted JC the Conqueror. Appreciate it. He says it's amazing how they will emphasize how strong Coretta was while Martin is out getting hit. Oh, just getting hit with bricks. Okay, getting hit with bricks. His sins washed away by fire hydrants. They will continue to try to rewrite history. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that.
But I tell these things because it lets you know, even though I don't have kids, I know people that have kids. Thankfully, these are people that older people went through that I know, not people that are currently like in my peers that go through this, you know. But it's crazy. And we talk, and again, all this stuff I know. And then when I go back to listen to E Black, it's not even like when I hear like the thing that gets on my nerves is when you hear some of these dudes. And they get in it. I get that like Kevin Samuels might be the first motherfucker you heard, but this idea that like all this shit is just virtually non-existent in people's real lives until they get on the internet, that's bullshit. You can't be like, at that point, I'm questioning your fucking. I fuck the gynocracy. I'm talking about the shit you talking about, Bernard. Like, you're not gonna tell me you don't know nobody or you ain't got nobody in your family, none of this stuff to go to. At that point, I'm questioning your IQ.
Bro.
Because there's no way as a black man, you're moving through this environment this fucking goofy.
You can't get any random group of black men together who don't have, let's say if there's 6 men, 3 of them have a horror story. I can guarantee you 3 of them have a horror story where it was them personally, or it was their brother or their cousin or their homeboy that they watch go through this. Like it's like that. You can't go untouched from this. No one goes untouched. Just because you haven't gone through the drama doesn't mean you haven't watched your brothers go through it.
I will do you better. You can't even, you get some Africans that's dealt with black women in a serious way. They got a horror story. I know dudes that were in college, and I told them, engineers in very hard schools where they make their bones off making sure your ass don't get out, because they say the people that get out are good. One of them kind of schools as far as engineering. And then they got a baby. I'm talking about straight from Africa. They got a baby by a black chick. The black chick's 28. You're 21. Motherfucker, what the fuck were you doing with a 28-year-old? Well, like, you thought that patriarchy that you doing in Africa worked here? on a 20, they be really believing that shit. Talking about, well, you know, watching fucking Bill Cosby, the Hudson. I'm like, you really thought that, like, nigga, as soon as you touch the phone,
So
damn, you should have knew
don't
that
beat
was
up on the Africans. Listen, don't beat up on the Africans. Let me tell you why. Because I always call Bill Cosby my TV dad. He is not the only one that grew up thinking you can just get married and have a happy life and everything will be swell, bro. They wanted us all to believe that.
Hood conservative, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, you should have knew that them bitches you fucking with ain't Claire instantly. I don't know what game you let. That's not game they're running. I'm not. My point in bringing up the African part is it don't even gotta be African American. You could get somebody that don't know them and have any preconceived notions of them, and they still want to. Again, remember, I said a 21-year-old somehow thinking they can run a 27-year-old. We're not talking about, okay, you the same age. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, even Africans be somehow winding up in this bullshit. Shit, Duke from Duke. I interviewed Duke from Duke and Dunn. You interviewed him too. I remember I asked him, he married an African-American woman and got a divorce. I asked him, so what do you think about intercultural dating? That's the thing I say. That dude was like, he was acting like he didn't want it. Like I gave him something that smelled bad. And I said, okay, what do you think about interracial dating? He was like, yeah, like where the white women at, basically. I'm like, well, nigga, you need to say that on your fucking show. The point is, even the ones that deal with them, whether you got Nigerian culture or whatever, they come with generally the same outcomes. So we know what the variable is. Anyway.
Yeah, I put that link in the chat for you, Roger Report. He said he wanted to come up for a minute. The link is in the chat.
You have another video queued up? I saw something. What was that next thing you pulled up?
Yeah, I put this one up. I don't know which one you hold on, here we go. Hold on, wait, not there. Where I'm trying to click on right there. Yeah, I don't know if you wanted to roll into this one. You had something else in my actually, and low-key forgot what this one was about.
This is actually just two black guys talking about the weirdness of being a black man dating a white woman and how, you know, you get certain scorn. And this is just a bunch of different examples I kind of gave to you of how, like, one, this is a double standard thing. How no black woman ever feels this weirdness about dating interracially. Most black guys don't really give black girls that type of, thing. But if you're a black man, then, the sisterhood kind of turns on you all at once.
All right. Well, actually, no, before we get into this, because I don't want to switch topics before Roger Report have his say. So we're gonna go to Roger Report real quick. Welcome back. Ain't seen you in a minute. Welcome back. What's going on?
Brother, how you doing? I can only stay for a few minutes. I think the problem with this situation that I hear y'all talking about, black men haven't accepted their rightful place, and they haven't accepted black women's rightful place. A man cannot abandon his children, and black men need to get over that at this point.
A man can have his what? Would you say that?
A man cannot abandon his children. That is almost impossible. I say it's almost impossible for a man to abandon his children. If a man gets with a woman and they have children, it's her job to be with him. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to be the head, which means what? She's supposed to be following his lead. If they have kids and children belong to their fathers, if the kids are not with the man, it's the woman's fault. There's no excuse at this point. If you show me a man and you claim he abandoned his children, the first question I'm gonna ask is why do you have kids and don't live with the guy? He can't abandon his children unless you're talking about a man is actually hiding from a woman. If he's not hiding, he can't abandon.
Agreed.
But that's men accepting that they are the head. And we haven't accepted that as men yet, which is why we have a problem. Women can spin these narratives about abandonment because we haven't accepted that we're the head yet.
I hold on real quick. Yeah, I sort of touched on that it was a short video. I mean, it was about 9 minutes long, where the title of it was, did he leave her and the kids, or did she leave him and took the kids with her? And that was the question that I asked, because like I don't even like the language when we say, there's no fathers in the home. I always say, the mother and the children are not in the home. Like we say, there's no fathers in the home. Like wherever the mama lay her hat is the home. Like that's so. I do understand where you're coming from that standpoint, that basically the
Yeah, I do
propaganda been put out there to the point to where if the man is not with the kid, we talk about him like he either disappeared, got Thanos snapped, or just this wayward person wandering about. No, he's a man. He lives somewhere. He has a house, an address somewhere. He's paying bills at. So yeah, the question should be asked, not why is the father not in the home? No, he's in the home. Why your ass ain't over there with him? That's the question that need to be asked.
Well, that's because they think it's they kid. They. That's another way of saying these are my kids. And it's just a situation. And one of y'all was talking. Well, you were talking about Bernard, where you were saying, I mean, you a hood conservative with it, like that situation you were just commenting on like a couple minutes ago. They really believe that shit. They really that's the culture. And again, we don't, as a black people, we know why the black women don't want to do it, because look, if we basically put all the cards on the table, we already know who's looking the craziest. We know. So everything, even when you were talking to Juana, it's always about keeping everything as fogged up and fucking murky as possible. And then you got a situation where it's like, okay, well, if E Black is taking sides, then it's gonna be like, oh, now you ganging up on her. And this is the game that gets played. This is the game, and it's like, yo, at this point, this man, I'm like, yo, like talking. Go ahead.
At some point, we actually got to act and talk like the problem is what the problem actually is. I never really listened to a woman telling me about how the man ain't there. When a woman started complaining about a man, I'm going to ask, is the dude alive? If she say yeah, I'm going to say, well, if the dude is alive, why didn't you make sure he has his children? Because that's your job as a woman. I'm not going to talk to her like it's not her job as a woman to be with the man she had kids with. I don't even play that game. And black men need to stop playing that game. There is no narrative if we just simply accept that she's wrong. Whatever's going on, she's wrong. If she had the kids with the man, she already approved that that's the type of man she's supposed to follow.
Roger,
so if you're not,
we understand why, like, take the women off the table, like, and I get that. We understand why dudes lie. Like, this is where that Highlander syndrome and a lot of dudes buying into the matriarchy, your Derek Jacksons, and people are varying degrees for economic reasons usually, but for other reasons, because pro-blacks have other reasons of doing it too, as to why dudes knowingly lie. I've been told by multiple people that Umar understands exactly what the fuck we're talking about and agrees with 80% of what the fuck we're talking about, and maybe the other 15% is probably how it's said he may modify, but agrees with that part too.
The video is out there. We talking about horror stories, and shout out to car designer Chris. He says, hell yeah, we got horror story. We all got horror stories. Dr. Umar Johnson put his horror story out there with his situation with his kids. He explained all of that. The videos are out there.
I got a clip. He know what the gynocracy is. He basically said black women are the management class. Black women are not over the black community. Black women are in the management class for white supremacy. So it's really white supremacy. I said, motherfucker, that's what it is. When you are over, like when Germany took over France, Germany installed French traders to administer running France, and they were told what to do by Germany. That's what the fuck we're in. Like, so you're saying it in a different way. It's like me saying, oh, well, your general manager at your plant ain't running you, but really it's the corporation telling him what to do. Motherfucker, but at the end of the day, you're not talking to the corporation unless you go into HR. You talking to that GM at that. Like, see, that's that case. That's what I'm talking about. So let's go back to Roger. They know, even with Tariq Nasheed playing that everything is not Ado's fault, that smoke screen. What did Tariq say back in the day? He said, if you get a mixed chick, make sure that mama ain't black. What did he end up doing with his wife? Her mother ain't black. He did exactly, and he has a black daughter, but that's what he did. He said what he was going to do and did it. They know. They choose to do that.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't need to challenge another man about something like this. If a woman has kids and she ain't with the child's father, she the one messing up. Period. There's nothing she can say to me. I don't have to ask about the dude. He don't matter. She already had kids by him. So whatever kind of guy he is, it don't make a difference at that point because you had kids. So I
agree with what Roger's saying here. This is very base, but it's actually the natural order. Outside of what we call civilization, if he knocks you up, you belong to him now. That's how it always went between men
this
and
is
women.
why
Like,
dudes don't want to deal with single mothers. You're absolutely right. That's one of the main instinctual reasons why a lot of dudes don't want to deal with single mothers in the first place, because that's really what a lot of dudes think, even if they can't articulate that. But go ahead.
So
right,
what
we
I'm
need
saying
to
is,
hold that bro code in line better. It's not on the women, it's on the men to hold what I've been
Exactly,
calling bro code lately, though.
and that's what I'm saying. That, like, so I don't disagree with that part. But see, the problem, I get what you're saying in principle. That's not what I'm disagreeing with. But the thing about it is, Roger, when you sit here, like, let's take when some of these niggas like Paco, the Pablo, whoever fucking dude was. Yeah, you sit there, so you play what Roger's saying in front of dudes like that. Then it's a whole bunch of name calling, whole bunch of you hate. Like, the point is, I get what you're saying, but this is why motherfuckers are dancing on Kevin's grave now. Like, the way they respond to that is very violent. Hell, with your channel how they respond to that bullshit. They say, okay, well, we're going to talk to this flag button since you going to be like that. That's how they get.
And look, speaking of the whole who radicalized you question, again, we watched how you behaved towards the death of a man who wanted nothing but good things for Black women. Underneath all of the attacks made on him, I can say without a doubt, he wanted good things for the women that came into his show. And you're pissing on his grave. You hike your skirts up and you're twerking on it now. Like, this is what we have to witness. Like, Kevin, you radicalized me.
I'm not gonna make this about Kevin. Kevin wanted to give Black women the gift that his mother was able to get, which is calming the fuck down, and in her later years not dying alone. Because his mother calmed the fuck down after wilding the fuck out. This is his words. And she found somebody that, he ended up passing, but she was able to spend a lot of her latter years with. And that's the gift he ultimately really wanted to give these women. But they can't hear that because they such on that bullshit.
But see, my point is, if they're going to be on that, they should just simply be ignored. At the end of the day, just like any guys, you said, if you put what I say and then let them hear how they're going to react. My thing is, their reaction don't matter at the end of the day. You make a woman decide, okay, what kind of man you want at the end of the day. Do you want a guy who thinks a woman shouldn't have to be responsible for nothing? Or do you want a man who actually requires a woman to be responsible for things she should be responsible for? If she said, I want the guy who doesn't require a woman to be responsible for anything, you basically, you're dealing with a person with a childlike mind state. You just ignore them because they're an adult, though. They don't even count it.
I get what you're saying. This is what you're saying is how I thought about Bernard talking to Tawana. But I also understand that you have content and that shit's not gonna last doing that. Like, Bernard would get cussed out saying that bullshit to Tawana, for example.
I mean,
I get what you're saying. It's not about, the thing is, what you basically saying, I'm gonna give you this diesel alcohol and you go chug that shit regardless. I understand. I'm saying you need to put a chaser in it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. And yes, more dudes need to. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say straight up. The problem, Roger, is with a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes that if they gotta pick between you and that bitch, they picking that bitch because they mama raised them. So you say what you saying, they're gonna find ways. They're gonna find ways to make you wrong. I'm talking about dudes. Let's take the women out of the equation. So our job is to get this is our job in this space. Our job is to create maximum exposure that we can to get as access to many African American men or Black men in the United States as possible. That way we can then start carrying a message like what you're saying, but you have to do it in degrees. Because if you go right there to that, then they're going to want stats. They're going to start all the questions. You know the bullshit we deal with. It's not, they're going to fight you unnecessarily because they're not really fighting what you're saying. They're fighting what that means. And I know you know that.
I understand they're gonna be upset. And the thing is, who cares? I don't care if they're gonna be upset. Most Black people in America are Christian. If you're a Christian, the only reason Christianity even counts is because God is Jesus' only father. Everybody knows children belong to their father. So just to even say you Christian, which it takes out most people, you can feel however you want to feel, but you have to agree.
No, well, but people don't act on what they agree. Roger, do you believe the majority of Black men believe that the kids belong to the man or the woman? African American men.
I don't think they do, but that's the whole point of why we
Okay.
need to be sitting and just simply standing on it.
Well,
If you want to make yourself look like a fool, knock yourself out.
Well, standing on it and influence are two different things. You know, and that's the way the difference is.
No,
with
it's
I'm
more
saying.
like what
I think what
it's
Ed
more
is
like what
getting
Mr. Palmer says, though. Let me just say this one thing. It's more like what Mr. Palmer says. You got to change the laws in your mind before you can start to change the laws of the land.
Which is very true, which is why I'm saying men have to learn to stand on it. If you're going to influence somebody else, that your position is correct, you at least got to stand on it yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying we don't.
I think y'all agree.
Yeah,
I think y'all
yeah.
agree. The only difference I'm hearing is Ed is like, we're not even in a place where
This is the
like,
marketer in me.
Yeah, you are speaking from a marketing strategy standpoint, and it is a tough sell to so many men. It shouldn't be a tough sell to men in this space, but in general, if somebody say what Roger is saying, you're going to get pushed back and fight from men. You're going to get men saying things like, well, no, women are natural nurturers. Like, that's where we at. Like, so it's a hard thing if you're taking the position, and I take that. If I could Thanos snap it on a real quick. If I could Thanos snap it, I would make the default of the court to where if they separate, the kids automatically go with the father. You'll get men jumping in arguing that women are natural nurturers, and they probably 75% of black men would say no, it should stay with the woman. Even some of the ones that are getting jerked around through the system still probably wouldn't even go with that.
Al Boogie is saying, so what? Let the goofy niggas be. The problem is the goofy niggas vote.
But
that's what y'all not understanding. It ain't. See, that's what y'all not understanding.
Some people don't understand media. Like, come on.
Right.
I
totally get where you're coming from. But see, my thing is, I'm gonna stand with my stance because I know it's the truth. And it makes sense in every way that you can really find in life. But at the end of the day, if you as a man gonna fight me about something like this, I'm gonna say, okay, well, so if you honestly believe children belong to their mothers, then you should actually be willing to pay whatever she needs to say that she needs to get from you, and you should do it without complaint at all. You shouldn't even have nothing to say about something like that. If you agree that they hers, just do what you told and shut up.
Well,
but here's the crazy part. I've heard people basically say that. I've heard people basically say that, that's why I don't care. I'm just gonna pay whatever I gotta pay, and a real man ain't gonna complain about paying what he gotta pay because he's just looking at those are her kids.
But he also shouldn't have nothing to say either.
Yeah, exactly. That is the reality of it. Because
are on that. Some dudes
that's the situation you go through. You are forced with that choice. Like, it's either I just shut up and pay and accept it, or I'm gonna fight for leverage and I'm gonna fight for a position that works better for me.
And then you get dumbass niggas that they not only do they accept it, they start running their mouth trying to tell other niggas why they should accept it. So then you become the problem. That's what we like. I was just like, dude, man, we had y'all know CJ is Clarence, man. We just try to have an intervention with him. This nigga talking about like 60% of black women are viable, and he's from Baltimore. Like, these motherfuckers be making like, dude, you don't
60% of Baltimore chicks are viable.
And by the way, hold on. Charles Faulkner is a police officer in Baltimore. So we have people that actually know. But that's
why I'm laughing, because I grew up there. Like, I know y'all, bro. Chill.
This is. So my point is, this is what we deal with. I know the psychology of these dudes and what they and so logic. What you're trying to do is have a logical conversation. And that's why I tend to ask open-ended questions and not closed-ended questions. Because all they gonna do is find a way to make the shit your fault. Because in their minds, anything black women do is because black men ain't doing what they supposed to do. Like, as far as like this magical, even with one, like that first thing, the trick that really pissed me off is when y'all had. Yes, I am, because we're gonna do it. Because that meant maybe when we're talking about you can't be feminine if you don't feel sexual or some bullshit like that. Basically making it about, because that's where the colorism, featureism bullshit comes from. Oh, so that's code for if you can't put me on par with that white woman in her head, then she don't feel like she needs to be feminine. This is goofy.
Yeah, well, Ed, though, hold on, because my thing is, when I address anybody, I act like the problem is the problem. There's plenty of people who say my dad wasn't around, and one of the first questions I'm gonna have is, why didn't your mama love you enough to get you a father that would be there? We don't even act like that's how we should be
That's how I see
addressing
it
it.
too.
Why didn't your mama love you enough to get you a father that would be there? That should be a natural question. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying your daddy had to be the greatest man, but dang, she wouldn't get a guy who would at least be there. And that's 100% on her. She the one picked who she was gonna have a baby by. You know, if we don't talk like that on a regular basis all the time, the narrative don't change. We allow people to say too much stuff that don't make sense. If your daddy wasn't there, it's because of your mama. That's a reality. No matter
Again,
no
No,
matter
it's
what
simple. It's
somebody
simple.
said.
You have to put the ball in
You
their
was
court.
married and you're now a widow, if your daddy wasn't there, it's the mama's fault.
Roger, I'm probably one of the most direct motherfuckers on this platform. Like when it comes to that shit, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, I also understand the reality of what we're in. And you have to work with where you're at, and you just saying the same. Like I've seen people on this platform 10 years saying the same thing that they think is absolutely right over and over and over and over again, and then they actually like I get what you're saying, but there's ways that you have to administer certain things. That's all I'm saying. And it's really, I mean, it just is what it is. It is what it is because you got motherfuckers right now. I just came off of like Red Supreme's thing. I was listening to him and he was literally playing what another YouTuber was saying, a bigger one. They don't show her face, you know, and she was talking about getting the FBI. She was using that white boy shooting up Buffalo to say why the FBI needs to also investigate the Black Manosphere. And this is somebody with 250,000 subscribers. Like, I don't think you really understand. Like, you know, I'm not scared of nothing, but like, dude, the stuff, there's a reason why people be shutting your shit down all the time, man. For real, man. Like, it's how you go about doing stuff. You know, that kind of direct, it is what it is. That's it. Shut the fuck up. I'm right, period. Because my logic is on me. Black people react violently to that shit.
No, brother, I understand, and people got concerns that don't matter. Like I just told somebody not too long ago, the FBI don't care about the Black Manosphere; they care about crime. So everybody who even trying to link something to the Black Manosphere, that they already telling me they dumb people because they don't care. You know what I'm saying? They care about crime and what's going to happen in the context of a criminal situation. If there's no crime available, they don't care about it. So that includes the Black Manosphere and anything else. If there's nothing in the context of crime, they just don't care. No, number two.
I'm fine with that. I get it.
Number two, the thing is, what I'm saying is, I do this all the time on a regular basis. I had a young lady say something to me about her daddy. She's 15. I said, don't ever say nothing bad about your daddy again, because you don't know your daddy to know what was going on with him. I asked her, has she ever met a black man that didn't want his child? Of course, she said no. And of course, I ain't never met a black man who didn't want his child either. So guess what I do know? I know her mama wanted to have a baby by that dude. And I told her that your mama wanted his baby, period. And that's who you are. You are the baby that your mama wanted by that guy. So why you don't know your father got something to do with the fact that your mother kept you away from him. Because you know good and well for sure that she wanted his baby. So you need to deal with why did your mama want his baby, but don't want you to know who the dude is. That's what you're gonna have to settle as a kid. Now I told her easier to accept way because she was only 15, but she still got the information. You know what I'm saying? I do the same thing with dudes. No matter what the context is, no matter how old the person is, I'm gonna make them have to deal with the fact the only reason your father ain't around is because of your mother's choice.
You know what? I don't like making suggestions for other people's shit. You know, so I hope I'm not overstepping. But I would love you to take this shit to Jada and what's that African chick to be on your gender wars thing?
Yeah. And
that would be some entertaining shit to see how they respond to this shit.
Yeah.
Jackie understands it, but that would be some entertaining shit to me.
Are you familiar? Are you familiar with the concept of Bruffault's law, Ed? There's some old deep red pill knowledge stuff here, but this is some old white guy, Robert Bruffault, and he kind of studied the female animal, like throughout the animal kingdom, you know, what all different species, humans, animals, whatever. And one of the things he said, you know, Bruffault's law, the structure of the family unit is completely dependent on the female of the species, meaning that when certain family bonds are not desired by the female, they simply will not establish.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Don't even get me started on the motherfuckers talk about body count as if, from a practical standpoint, women lose their ability to emotionally bond the more bodies they have. I mean, and one thing that women don't understand is you can fuck the same dude 100 times, but when you are dealing with different dudes, that's a difference. I don't understand what y'all don't understand about that. That's why even when folks are saying that, but going back to what Roger's saying, I don't disagree with what Roger's saying. What I'm interested in is I want to see. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but I know what I'm talking about too. So I would love to see, because I actually think, look, Game Changer serves as that kind of hardcore dude in the way you do these panels, Roger. I'm not trying to say to replace nobody, but I would love to see if you add Roger on there, how those chicks respond to what Roger is saying. Because I already know how they are, but that'll be some entertaining shit to see. Because I agree with you, Roger. I mean, what you're doing is the straight line approach.
We've touched on that. The question probably wasn't asked or put out there exactly, or it wasn't stated exactly the way Roger is saying it, but we've gone down that rabbit hole of fatherhood. Jada was far more agreeable than what you probably think, and but Annette, she was the one. Annette was talking about we called it the remote father. She was like, he don't even need to be there. If I can just get him on the phone and he could just yell through the phone, and then I'm good. Like so, some of them are just so far gone. They don't even.
It's like a dad in a jar.
Yeah. That's how they literally look at it. But hold on for a second, Uncle Stu. Hold on for a second. Let me get to these super chats. We got Sports dropping in the building. He says culture is codified. Women have essentially presumptive property rights to children since the establishment of the tender years doctrine. I don't know the exact law in every state. I live in Michigan. In Michigan, if they're not married, the woman is the presumed legal parent, no questions asked, and the man has to take legal action against her for him to get any rights other than
And that shit should be unconstitutional.
No, the tender years doctrine is something that is like 100 years old now. Essentially, what a lot of men don't know, and what Roger was talking about, used to be codified in the sense that if a child happens, and let's say there's a divorce, the man is automatically given custody of the children. They're his property, is just assumed. It had to be changed as a matter of legal policy. That's what they call the tender years doctrine, that women should get the children of the tender years, like newborn children up to maybe 5 or something like that. That's when they shouldn't be separated from a mother.
That's how they slipped that shit in.
Well, let me say this real quick, and I gotta get out of here. Okay. And because I really gotta go. But nice talking with y'all, gentlemen, of course. But my thing is, even if the law doesn't agree with this, I'm saying this should be a normal thing amongst black men. When black men are ever brought to a conversation and the kids and the child's father even comes up, the only thing we should be focused on the fact is, look, regardless of how you feel about it, your mama just didn't care that much about you. Now that's a fight for you and your mama to have. If she didn't get a good man in your life, she just didn't love you like that. That ain't my fault. That ain't your fault. That's got something to do with your mama. Period. It's hard to find a black man that don't want to take care of his children. That's just hard for anybody to find. Most people have never actually met one. Usually, if you have a guy who's not taking care of his kids, there's a bunch of stuff that the mother is doing to keep him out the picture. You don't randomly come across men who say, well, I just don't want to take care of my kids. That's hard to even do. But at the end of the day, if she had the kids by the man for whatever her reasons are, I don't care if this dude is a rocket scientist, literally, or he pookie and all he does is play Madden all day. If she picked that dude, whatever her scenario is the scenario she wanted. It's her fault at the end of the day who that man is. And if your mama don't love you enough to give you a good father, you need to resolve that issue with your mama, not the dad. Because she picked that dude to be your father. If you live in America, there's no getting around that. She literally picked the type of man. She may not have got the exact man she wanted, but she sure got the type of man she wanted. Just is what it is. And men need to talk from that perspective at all times, not just on the internet. I'm talking about in your daily life. If anybody talks to you, children come up to you and ask you a question, or you gonna even talk to a child, or you talk to another joke, whatever it is, I'm talking from the context of the truth. If your dad ain't around, it's probably because your mama don't like you that much.
Damn.
Unfortunate, but that's
no, it's real though. It's real. And
Yeah,
honestly, I like that stance. You put the ball in her court. But go ahead, Stu. Thank you.
Right. Hold on. Real quick. So hold on. JC the Conqueror in the building. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. He came through with another one. He says we got a classic throwback panel. Absolutely. Car designer Chris in the building. He says, so if I'm here, game changer, right, we might need to operate in mode 2, like most married men. I don't have a clue what you're talking about right now. I don't have a clue what you're talking about right now. I don't know what they got to do.
Changer.
Huh? What you say?
Dreaming about game changer. Where's game changer? That was what he said in the chat. This nigga awesome. That's a powerful weed you got, man.
It's like he listening to one stream and commenting in a different chat.
That happens sometimes, though.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, Silver in the building says, I speak like Roger, straight shooter. I don't give a F with how people take it. And sports droppings in the building says Roger is spitting. Yeah, Roger. We need to link back up for another one-on-one, man. That last one we did was a classic. So yeah, we definitely do for another one, man. I'm glad you came on through and dropped some bombs on us, man. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all have a good rest of y'all day because I got to get up out of here. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me up.
Peace. All right, hey, Report, look me up, man. I'd love to have you on my show.
All right, we'll do, Uncle Stu. We'll do. No, not a problem.
Right. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Uncle Stu. You got the floor.
First of all, let me just say, it's funny that you're saying this because I'm actually putting another video together with a clip from my boy from Edward Anderson right here, talking about the over-policing of Black men. And I 100% agree with Roger Report when he, articulates how we have to speak. The problem is that we have too many of these women in powerful places. Powerful meaning, political, judicial, and in certain corporate America places. So, we can stand 10 toes down as Roger says, but now we got to, in the sense of what Edward is talking about, we got to remarket ourselves and get ourselves in positions to change the narrative more at the top than we are just on YouTube alone. And when I say that, it simply means that we have to, 1, educate. 2, we have to get into the policy making. 3, we have to get into the better places, both on mass media and in corporate America. Because the reality is we can spit facts all day and we can spit truth all day here on YouTube, but we have to get it into the places where it's going to actually benefit. And unfortunately, too many of these types of women are working in areas where they're still controlling the narrative and still controlling the social environment. I'm not, I even understand the argument when it comes to, these men. I ain't even sweating the men because I feel stronger men will overpower the weak man. We just got to be able to fight the narrative. A lot of times these guys are in those places because they actually believe subconsciously that women control the power. Therefore, they want to be where the so-called power market or power war is. But the reality is that we just got to show them where the true power lies. And that's only going to become. Go ahead, Hood Conservative.
No, I was going to say that the whole thing about the media, it's like, you can't really attack that thing head on. It's too big of a beast. This is why the Black manosphere and all these different types of internet platforms have become a thing, because the mainstream narrative, the mainstream message, there is really no place for men who want to talk about the things that are actually important to them. You kind of have to, stand your ground on these type of platforms over here, because the mainstream media is going to be it is your main enemy in that sense.
It is, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just say, I guess from my vantage point, I see it cracking. I see it shattering. I came in, I think Ed, you were saying something about people that's either on YouTube or not off YouTube, and those that's not on YouTube should see the same thing. And I'm saying I am in the community. So a lot of the conversations that's happening on YouTube has always been happening off of YouTube, and you hear it more now. So when people say, well, what we're talking about is amongst us and is not above it, trust me, I'm hearing the same conversation off of YouTube that I'm hearing on. And if you think about it, if you look at even what's going on in the political landscape, you got more African-American men going towards the right of conservatism than they was going towards the left and the Democratic. If we just look at parties, you got more African-American men sliding towards the Republican Party than they are sliding towards the Democratic Party. It's so much of a threat that was the biggest question that was asked during the last election. They couldn't figure out, well, why is there a higher number of Black males who are actually registering and voting Republican when Trump was running versus when Biden ran? So
Uncle Stu.
Yes, sir.
Now, I wanted to jump in on that because that's something that I talk about a lot. And one of the clips I had sent you, Bernard, is actually another Black woman who apparently doesn't know what a woman is in Congress testifying. And so to kind of double down on your question about why Black men are turning away from the Democrat Party, at the same time they're turning away from Black women on a personal level, I think these two things are related. And it's because of not only the personal stuff that's going on that we've been talking about on the show between men and women, but from the political stance, it's like, one, what you want is really counter to what I want. What your goals are counterproductive towards my goals. And then two, when I look at you, when I listen to what you actually say, when I just take a general, just a general vibe of what you got going on over there, you present yourself as my enemy.
But see, let's even take it one step deeper. It is ironic to me that I've read the articles, and if you understood how Trump got into office, one of the articles that I studied and read stated that the quote, well, we define as the white manosphere, but that the white manosphere in the 90s end up collaborating with some of these, supremacists, but in order to form one coalition group in order to get them into office as a whole power. So what would happen if the African-American side of YouTube started really collaborating with, let's say, the white manosphere, or really collaborating with, since we talking about ADOS and FBA, and said, let us at least deal with this issue, and we're only going to speak to those in political power that's going to change this narrative. Because at the end of the day, the narrative got to change. So either it changes because we either going to vote for you or we're going to vote against you. But if you want our vote, these is what's got to happen. I like something else that Edward Anderson said, but he said it on my podcast, not on here, when he talks about, if you're going to talk about dating and you're going to deal with who you want, you got a whole world that is still people of color. They just may not be in America. Now, I tell anybody, at my age, yeah, we might still be 10 toes down, but ain't no way in the world I can speak to the 20 and 30 some generation, tell them to stay in America. You talking about a Black man that has a Black woman. You talking about a Black man that raised Black daughters. You talking about a Black man that married all 3 of his Black daughters. You talking about a Black man that still got a 23-year-old Black son. My other son has passed away, but everybody's dated Black. I tell anybody, the one I have right now, I'm sorry, that's a rare breed. That's a rare woman.
I think for the younger generations, the zillennials and whatever you call them, you're going to have something more tangible on the table. Dating Black for the sake of dating Black, I suppose, was good enough for generations before for a lot of other reasons, but I don't know that it will be good enough going forward.
I'm going to tell you, me and mine, we went out to a restaurant, and we went to this restaurant. Of course, I'm not as world famous yet, so she had no clue who she was talking to. And in the midst of the restaurant, she come telling me, she's 26, telling me about the college she goes to and that she want to be a fertility doctor. I said, well, let me ask you, so how do you feel about Roe versus Wade? She gave me her argument about Roe versus Wade. She upset about the decision. So I said, well, what do you know, how do you feel,
whoa. A fertility doctor who supports abortion.
Isn't that comical?
But this is what I'm saying. These are chicks that are. This is what I'm talking about. You want me to? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Let me take it one step further because my wife almost broke my ankles up under the table when she went this direction. So after I seen that irradical conversation, I said, so what do you think about the over policing of black men? She said, hey, that doesn't take place. And then she went straight into talking about, may rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. But here's her illogic. She went straight into talking about he was broke. His mama had to set up a GoFundMe page. I'm like, wait a minute. Where'd you get this information from? Oh, his mama said it.
So here's the thing, and this has been going on for a minute. This has been going on for a long time. Black females get the majority of they're very manipulated by them. And this is not me letting them off the hook at all, because they're the ones that claim to be the most educated. Most of the facts that they get, they really get that shit from social media, which is why they see it as such a threat that black men are creating their own, because the way they view the world pretty much exclusively comes out of social media. Like, they don't question shit they hear. It's if they like the person that's talking, they'll believe anything they say. If they don't like the person that's talking, they'll believe whatever negative narrative.
Yep.
So but this is what I would say. We don't even have an awareness, a saturation of awareness. Most men do not see this as an actual problem. The problem with black men is black men wait until they get fucked before they realize something's an issue. We got way too many dudes that are operating that way. You could be in cities, some of the worst cities in the United States, and they're not aware. But it's like, okay, you're aware of this thing called white supremacy because the Democratic Party and others have told you to pay attention to that. But can you really articulate to me, like, and how you live your life, what that is and what you need to look for? And most of the time they can't, because they don't know. My point is not to agree or disagree. My point is to say, do you even know? It's one thing to think you know something, but do you really understand what it is to the point where you can apply it? So here's my point. My point is, the thing that, in my opinion, black men need to do in this space, everybody has their own thing, but I mean, it's one thing there should not be a debate about, is our main goal should be to basically eventually get in the ear of as many African-American men as possible, meaning there's 12 million black male adults and then like 24 million black males total. Because and so it's not so much about trying to change the women or get political. It's really about getting that awareness. Because once you get that awareness, then this is where what Roger's saying kicks in, and what other people are saying, the logic will take control. Because men are just going to men are going to absorb this differently than women. Women are going to see this as an emotional threat. So nothing else. It doesn't have to make logical sense. That's why she could say what she says, be a doctor, and believe that. It's the same reason why black women go to the church and they say they're Christian, even though the way they really operate is really like they're witches. If you actually understand what witchcraft is and what Wicked is and what that shit is about,
listen. I've been calling these chicks pagans for months now. Once I started looking at it deeply, I'm like, nah, these chicks are straight up pagan.
I just don't talk about
sacrificing babies and you're twerking on the fucking pulpit.
Yeah, I don't talk about it much because that's not my lane, but I've known of that for years. Like, I've dated a chick that was a Wiccan, so I'm very much aware of like a black chick. So very much aware of them. I mean, it's when you look at it, ain't no difference in these fucking black feminist bitches. It's just they're honest. They're honest about how they get down versus women basically have infiltrated the black church and basically converted it.
It's Christian tarot card readers. Like that's
and there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
Here's the thing. See, and it's funny.
Hold on, Stu, real quick. I want to say it's 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Even when April Mason said that dark feminine magic shit, that shit gave me the because I like telling you. Go ahead, Stu.
They be giving you the heebie-jeebies up in here.
But see, I'm gonna tell you, Give me a few weeks, and there's going to be a lot of the biblical arguments is getting ready to take forth, because I challenge a whole lot of these biblical narratives, and I'm challenging any woman that says she know the word to come to me. We're going to go scripture for scripture, because the Bible doesn't, one of the things, and I'll tell anybody, I got a picture of Kevin Samuels and I got a picture of a preacher, and I said, who said it first? Everybody argues about this, about Kevin Samuels being able to articulate about the high value man. Sorry, he did not start that. That started in the early 90s when they was talking about finding your Boaz. And there's more articles written about Boaz and more things on the internet about trying to find your Boaz than it is trying to find just be prepared to have a husband. And so, and Boaz is supposed to be rich. So the first person that started making these mindsets came straight out of the church. Don't worry, I got an argument for that. Second
I've
thing
always
is,
said that the Bible is very red pill.
Well, the problem is you're arguing the Bible again. So I'm gonna say it this way.
okay.
You would not waste if somebody tells you that they believe in paganism or they believe in what is that, satanic worship. You're not going to sit there and waste your time arguing the Bible against that. That's essentially what you're doing when you talk to most black women. The only reason why they claim the church is because they grew up in that. And I told you, they're easily manipulated. So they're cultural Christians as far as they like to sit, but they pick and choose what they want. So when dudes try to say this is in the Bible, come on, man. Most black women don't give no fucks about what's in that book. They're going to pick and choose what they want, and everything else they're going to throw away. So I've always seen it as an absolute waste of time. And me personally, I think a lot of black women perceive it as you don't have no real power, which is why you try to use that book to give you power. Which is why when dudes, because a lot of dudes try to do that, a lot of Hebrew Israelites try to do that, a lot of black Christians, they try to use the Bible, and they're going to pick what they want to pick to believe. I mean, the fact that the black church is what it is should tell you that as a whole. You can do that. That's your channel, but I'm just saying,
right.
Yeah. But personally, that's going in one of the year out. I would have loved for Bernard to try to use the Bible and talk to Tawana and see what that shit won't work. And I say keep bringing her up because she's the prototypical chick, yo. She's the prototypical.
I don't beat nobody with the Bible. That ain't my style.
But the thing about it, but a lot of times, like even younger dudes do, black men fall into this. Well, because it says in the Bible, you need to do it. If you don't have a practical, real world enforcement mechanism to get a chick to do what the fuck you need her to do, that book ain't gonna give it to you because she just gonna pick what you want out of that. And choose to ignore everything else. Like I said, that pagan shit is very real. These chicks do not believe, like they're openly saying the black woman is God in the church.
Bro, listen, Ed, a couple weeks ago, I did a full stream. I forget what I titled it. It's like Black Women versus White Man's Jesus or something like that. And because literally what was happening, and you go watch the stream, you see what I'm laying out. There's black women having conversations. There's all kinds of weird leftist churches out there. And so it's a black woman and a white woman. And they're talking about white Jesus and how white Jesus is, essentially white Jesus is, the oppressive, patriarchal. And I was joking like, damn, they're about to Me Too Jesus. Don't be surprised if black women try to Me Too Jesus. And because Jesus is white in that context, she was like, I could never feel at home in the church, this male God. And I had to introduce the Black Madonna. And she's trying to literally bring Black divine femininity into the white man's church to replace white Jesus. She's not even in a Black Baptist church. She's going to the heart of the white man's church and trying to kick white Jesus out and give them a Black Madonna.
I'll give her. I seen that stream you did. I seen it as a replay. I didn't catch it as the live, but I saw it as the replay. This was in around when I was trying to take care of some things back home in New York. So yeah, I saw that. I saw that. That was comical.
I'll give her credit for that. She got some balls to do that. I mean, because that's the same thing with Brie Larson. I don't like Brie Larson, but she calls out white men. She says, "No, I'm talking to you. I ain't doing that. We're gonna talk about the black men because they can't do shit to my white ass. No, I'm talking to you, white boys. That's who I'm talking to. I'll give them credit. That's some bravado I can respect because that ain't that manipulative high bullshit. So, because dudes have to register that as a threat. And so, yeah, if you think you can go in the white man's church and pull that shit, I ain't gonna look. You a better man than me if you can make. And I meant what I said. You a better man than me if you can pull that off. If you can pull that off in a white church, yeah, I'm not afraid. But black women in the church are all but doing that. A lot of the shit in the church are formality.
In church, think about this for a second. Think about this is what I was explaining when I was playing the whole stream. Like in the black church, there is no male power really. There are male figures. Jesus may be male-ish, but it's a very matriarchal church. So what they've done you've already cucked the black church. So now they're moving on to other pastors now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get off of here. Because I gotta make a run, but I appreciate
real quick. I was just about to type to the moderators, drop Uncle Stu link in the chat. I was in the middle of typing it right when you start saying that.
So okay, my bad.
Before you make your last statement, before you make your final farewell, moderators, make sure y'all dropping this link in the chat. You know, RM and a couple of the ladies that do that for me ain't here today. They got an unexcused absence today. They normally supposed to be in there dropping the links. So y'all fellas, some of the male moderators, drop them links. Get Hood Conservative, Ed, and Uncle Stu links spammed out through the chat room. But go ahead.
Yeah, but no, like I said, I'm a do the challenge because one thing, and I'm gonna give you credit for this, Ed. He always says, set up the platform and just run it. And I'd rather have it out there, even if it don't get as many, but it's out there. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to it just being hidden. It's like, hey, it's out there. It's something that can be referenced and whatnot. So it's definitely going to be out there. And, we gotta talk about it. We got to talk about it and have an open platform. I just want to try to bring a little bit more professionalism when I get back. So, I'll be back on live next week, dropping some stuff. I even got one where I got to at you, Bernard. We're going to answer that question about why simps and pygmies can't come together.
Yeah. Well, all right, Uncle Stu. Peace.
All right, peace, Ed. Peace, conservative.
All right.
Later.
I'm pulling up something.
Oh yeah, I just sent this to you like 5 minutes ago because I know we were having a conversation. I didn't know we would ever get back to clips or not, but this popped up like on my feed yesterday. This is a nutty story, bro. Like, again, who radicalized you? You think I need the internet to convince me that y'all is crazy? Like, look at the story she's about to tell.
Right on. But before we get into that, Mike and Vince Perkins is paying the hurricane tax. Captain Cisco in the building says black men must join Johnny Depp to defeat the turd. His win will weaken the sisterhood. I generally agree. Something like that happening on a major stage does weaken the sisterhood. So I'm with you on that. Johnny Depp definitely got our support. It was another super chat that thing.
Okay, Amber Heard may have been famous for crapping on Johnny's bed, right? But again, on my own channel, I pulled up a clip of a black woman sitting on a bucket, copping a deuce and waiting for her man to come home because he was allegedly down the block cheating. And so as soon as he walk in the door, she gonna hit him with the dirty bucket. So, Amber Heard may be famous, but black women did it first.
Right on.
I don't know what he would say to that.
Right on. I was.
But I can believe it. I can believe that bullshit.
Nah, it's on the video. She's sitting on the bucket, bro. I'm telling you, it's there. She like, listen, this nigga think he's slick. I know what he up there doing. Look, I'm gonna shit in this bucket, and when he come home, I'm gonna give it to him. Like, listen, bro, it's in the video. This is her. This is a black woman in her own natural habitat explaining her battle plan.
Wow. But all right. We about to dive on into it. Shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hitting that like button. Got 437 people in here. I have no idea where we at on the likes, but definitely get the likes up. And thank you, Gail. I see you down there dropping the links. Do appreciate you. All right, let's go. I haven't even seen this, so I have no idea what this is going to say, but let's roll it.
Wayne and Bao are my two boyfriends, and they're gonna be calling 3 o'clock in the morning. Wayne had the house number. So now, mind you, I have my kid. My husband has his kid. We have kids. And by the way, it's my house that I pay for. I pay all the bills. Everybody's dependent on me. I'm the boss bitch. Like, you don't pay for nothing.
You don't answer no phones around here.
Whatever. I do what the fuck I want. And I remember just waking up my husband like, hey, like, I gotta go. I'm taking the Rover. You gotta move your car.
You couldn't move it to the street and then pull it yourself out?
No, I'm not doing all this manual labor. And then he would move the car. And then I remember one particular night, I was in my car, I was backing out of the driveway. He moved his car into the street, and then he gave me a kiss goodbye. I'm like, all right, baby, I'll see you in like 2 or 3 days.
Not 2 or 3 days.
Yes. And then I'd be gone for 2 or 3 days. And then I would go home to my husband. And he would have my dinner waiting. My bath water ran.
I want to be like Elizabeth when I grow up.
And then like a glass of wine. Like, welcome home, honey. Did you have fun? Yes, bitch, I had so much fun. Wayne and Bao are my two boyfriends. And
now, did you catch to the end? She totally feminized her husband. Yes, bitch, I had so much fun. That's who they want to be. That's who they really want to be. That's like the ideal marriage in a lot of these chicks' mind. Boss bitches.
Oh man, I was barely following the story. Then the yes bitch at the end. I didn't even get what was going. What was that the only part? The yes bitch at the end? That was the only part.
That's the whole clip. Yeah, that's the whole clip I got for you. It's weird. Like, do you want your husband to just be your bottom bitch?
Man, chicks like her, I think that's how they want it a lot of the time. I honestly do. I think that's how they look at it. Like some of them will talk that talk, like they need this, overly masculine man that can control them and tame them. But if they not on that shit, if they ain't on that, then yeah, they want just their, basically like a man bitch to, be there and cater to them, and they could walk around and just present like, I got a husband. I think that's a lot of what it is. I think that's a lot of what it is with a lot of them. Well, definitely with a lot of them. That's like her on her mindset. A lot of them like that. And when I say on her mindset, I'm talking about not the ones that's regular chicks. I'm talking about the ones like her who on some, she got her own shit, her own money, her own, I pay all the bills here. I mean, it is some regular chicks that be on that too. But the ones like her that done reached a certain level of success, the type of man that they end up with when they got that kind of success and that type of attitude, yeah, he walking around there in panties, as far as I'm concerned. It just is what it is with those ones. Definitely is what it is with that one. I'm about to, go ahead.
No, what were you about to pull up? Because we were talking about the black woman that doesn't know how to define women in Congress again. Like, is this becoming a thing?
Yeah.
This is really a pattern now with black women. What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's one that I can't explain. That's one that I can't get to. Even if they want to throw out all the modern mumbo jumbo about, they, them pronouns and gender stuff and all of that, you should be able to answer the question straightforward. If somebody asks you what's a woman, you should just be able to enunciate the sentence that a woman is an adult female human. And then and once you say that, then just go. Then you can get into all your rhetoric.
Well,
go ahead.
Going back to the last video, because I was doing something as far as Corinne Stephens, that's dominance, and that's why black women go over the moon and over the top when it comes to cheating. They act like cheating is equivalent to you killing the child, killing their daughter. Like, they act like cheating is this unforgivable sin. Let me tell you something. The more masculine, the more alpha a nigga is, the more likely is a cheat. Bitch, if you can't get over it, then that's just going to be what it's going to fucking be. Like, I'm just going to say that just what the fuck that is. I am really tired of black women acting like cheating is like the worst unforgivable sin. Bitch, it was a nigga it's a dude fucking a bitch. Like, seriously. God damn. Y'all, they really be, and it's really ego. That's really all it is. So when you look at a chick like Corinne Stephens, who Tawana wouldn't be able to bring herself to say is a hoe, because for her, a hoe is a social construct. There is no practical reasons why men label women hoes.
A hoe is a social construct.
And I'm not.
Ed, I don't even know if you realize what you just stumbled across. Hoe is a social construct.
Y'all get one with all my
dope.
bullshit. With all my bullshit, y'all get one gold nugget. That's why people listen to me. Like, get that one. Y'all should hear me use Star Wars as a red pill reference. But anyway. But for real, yeah, I'm writing that down too. Because that's what it is. That's how it's just a social contract, which is why the in question that E Black asked was what, Bernard? What do you see as femininity today?
Yeah, E Black, man. He low key. I don't even know where to categorize him, but that conversation.
I like E Black, but goddamn, that's
that
what
conversation was stemmed from him basically caping for hoes and basically saying they're the most feminine. Like that's where that stemmed from.
So I'm gonna say it just like this. This is how I would answer a question. I say, E Black, you can ask me this question when black men are allowed to say you can be a man without protecting and providing. So when we put that on the table, then you could put me on the put it on the table what a female is supposed to be. How about that? Because you ask any dude, no matter red pill, blue pill, black pill, whatever, if a man is in a relationship with a woman, is he supposed to protect and provide? Everybody says yes. So until that can get put on the table, then we not putting it on the table. There's no point even answering the question. But anyway, my point is with Corinne Stephens.
Shout out to E Black though. Shout out to E Black. I met him in person. I met him in person at the Black Manosphere meetup. So people I meet in person from this space, I have to give a certain amount of respect and deference to. If they call me, they want to when we come on their channel.
I've interviewed. I like E Black. I like Chaotic Truth. Just because I don't agree with this shit, help me.
E Black. E Black run a smooth channel. I like how he do his thing over there.
But at the same time.
He be on some bull. He be having that cape on a little.
But
bit,
at the same time, I'm like, nigga, we're not negotiating this shit. Y'all think that we're negotiating a surrender? That's what they call those fucking debates, man. They really think if we just say it enough times, you'll go along with it. It's like, no, if we can't come to an agreement, I'm gonna tell you need to go find you the nearest white man, the nearest Hispanic man, or Caribbean or African that's gonna put up with that bullshit, because I'm not putting up with it. And that's what we gonna telling brothers to do.
Yeah, I don't even look at it that serious. I mean, it's serious. I mean, they're serious conversations. Well, no, I look at them as like from the perspective of, yes, they are serious conversations, but just like we sit here and talk about the ideas and talk about what makes sense, I also like to talk about it in real time against somebody challenging what we're saying. So I mean, like if we're wrong, come on and put it out there. Let me hear what you got. Give me your best shot. I'm gonna give you my best shot. So that's what it's about for me. So I think.
Oh no, absolutely.
I think the people that say, oh, they negotiating with hoes over there. I was like, man, those are the people that they either hating or just, I don't even want to go there. Well,
I'm not saying this as a mechanism to not do it. I actually like the fact you went over there and did it. Like what I have is I have a Telegram to wherever I go to other people's stuff, I can share that. So if people want to see how I react to other people's stuff, or I'll share it on my community tab with the timestamp. So I absolutely understand that. And
I think there's value in that, in the sense that a lot of these conversations where
of course you think it's value in it. You pull it up on the divestment zealot chick.
Listen, I got no beef with the DZ crowd. I ain't trying to fight y'all.
No.
Yeah, go ahead. No. It was something. Damn, you totally knock me off my train of thought with that shit. The DV chicks is nuts though.
Man, fucking Clarence went over there. Clarence did a video talking about I come in peace, and then he went over there, and then Clarence came back and said, all I said was hi, and they blocked me instantly. You fucking stupid dumbass.
You gotta ghost watch them hoes, man.
Chill. The nigga swinging in the tree? He ain't surprised.
He went over there and said
thing
hi.
Is, there is a value in having those conversations that's open and public. And I wasn't even going to talk about the divestments, because that's far gone. But let's go to a channel that I kind of actually like, which is who's that new guy? Kevin Samuel started this conversation.
I think his name is Obi.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think he's a young Nigerian kid, and not kid, but he's a grown guy. Yeah, yeah, we need to talk. That's what it's really called. And his conversations are done in complete good faith. And he's trying to be like, very, very charitable towards the female and still get the male issue across. And no matter how you slice it, it's a very depressing, black-pilled conversation. It's just like, damn, this is how y'all really think.
Oh yeah, them niggas was going over there trying to simp over there when he opened up the panels though.
Yeah, and they still simping. It's crazy, but like I know what I'm looking at, and I guess a lot of dudes don't know what they're looking at, and it's like, bro, there's no hope. There's no hope here, man.
Shit, you do good on that channel, Bernard. Shit, I mean, shit, if he had me on there, the thing about why it's good for you to do this, Bernard, is because number one, you got kids. Number two, you've been married. Number three, you done went in the battle. So it's like kind of like Mr. Palmer doing it too. Y'all like they can't throw that bullshit at you as easily. And also you came up. They can't throw that bullshit at you as easily. Yeah. So they kind of got to address the points as the points. And obviously you got a good following as you're at 10K, right? You're over 10K.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, I'm over 10K.
Okay, yeah. So, people are going to see that and be like, well, yeah, he sounds like he makes sense. Yes. And he's currently dating a black woman. He's not against anything. Okay. And then you can get people to listen. And then, like I said, there you go. So we actually need to do more of that. But cause don't get me started in these sports.
You made a good point, and I normally don't speak about this that much, but it's a lot of stuff that they can't say about. I was married to a black woman. I'm currently with a black woman, so they can't try to write me off on that. They can't try to say that that I'm some basement dwelling. So they can't try to say, oh, you just short and mad because you can't get no pussy. You can't. It's like all they just try to roll this out and just say this about you. It's like they can't really say that about me. So it's almost like, I gotta have a conversation.
And same thing with Palmer, and even with your the woman you're with, she passes all of the isms. She passes the featureism test. She passed the colorism test.
Yep.
She's not an exotical.
Bro.
She's not an exotical. Oh, I pay attention to all this shit because even when I share pictures of certain stuff, I say, okay, give me your bullshit because I can say, why you think I reference Black Huru so much? He's been married to a black woman for 30 years and he got nothing but daughters. I'm like, this nigga is saying this. And he's from Chicago too. He's saying this. And he's talking more hardcore than I am, and he got all dark. So my point is, we have people that we can present all in whatever book. And this is not for the females. This is usually for the dudes, because the women are going to be absolutely disingenuous. But if the dudes need certain people, and then let's have the conversation. Fine. I forget who it was, but I told one dude, it was dude off of Dynasty's channel. And that's another channel you would probably do well in. He's got 100K. I would be like, he think he's such a special snowflake because he's married. I said, my nigga, I will get a panel of dudes that either are married, currently married, or either were married and they're currently raising their kids, or are married currently. And they will say the same shit in their own way that I'm talking about as far as the principle stuff. They may not necessarily the gynocracy, but the principle on the ground stuff we're talking about. So this idea that, it's because you are a loser, because this dude act like he's more of a man because he's married. I mean, we're not talking about Anton. Like he think, you're a loser. Why aren't you married to a black woman yet? I'm like, nigga, it ain't hard to marry these bitches. What are you talking about? Like, it's funny, man. The type of shit that these niggas put up here, the straw man arguments, it's really like some Doctor Strange magical shit. It really is, man. Them niggas be putting up forces. But anyway, going back to this, as far as that female, I don't know what a man is shit. So you educated, but you don't know what a woman is. The reality is that, and I'm sorry to go here, but I'm gonna go here. And in the system of white supremacy, I know niggas are rolling out. Oh Lord! In the system, hold on. Well, this is liberal white supremacy, so he's like, I'll allow it. They're gonna
right.
And that's how I'm gonna get it with y'all. I'm gonna sneak it in there. The system of liberal white supremacy, they hit y'all with the. And the system.
I actually called Trey on that one day because he was talking about white supremacy. I caught him. He normally don't do it, but I did catch him talking about white supremacy, and I was like, wait a minute, you believe in that shit long as there's liberals doing it? I was like,
They want your babies dead and they want your women single and on the pole.
My standpoint is white supremacy, as far as politically, it's two sides of the same coin. So when people say why do you vote Democrat because the Republicans are racist? I question your IQ at that point, because it's like, okay, so are the Democrats. Well, how are they not racist? So you rather them do the systematic bullshit, gentrification, all of that, or you rather them be like that in your face? Oh, well, black people rather they be behind the scenes. But anyway, that's not my point. My point is, everything is negotiable. Like, being gay had you in that manual that you were mentally ill. Everything is negotiable to them. So even if you are in this case, it's the liberals. Even if you are a woman or not, the definition of a woman is actually negotiable in the eyes of liberals, because ain't no conservatives on that. That's negotiable, and that's even. Let's be clear. I want to say this real quick. Even all of the letters of the LGBT community don't believe that. Gays do not believe that that's negotiable. That is unique. And Dave Chappelle did a skit on that. That is unique to the trans folks. Like the other LGB, they don't believe that shit. They believe that, no, you are what you are. You can fuck what you want, but you are what you are. That's only them. Anyway, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
There's one motivating factor to make all of that real. And because right, you're right. Everyone knows it's contradictory and it's and totally unworkable going forward. But fuck the patriarchy. That's really what it's all about. It's only about that. We're going to destroy it because men like order and regulated worldviews. We're going to destroy order down to even its most basic thing at the natural level, just because, fuck the patriarchy. And that's really what it is.
Trey, shut up. I ain't even been talking like that. Trey came back as soon as I said white supremacy. He got a notification on his phone. That nigga got Google alerts for white supremacy if a black person say it.
He saw the bat symbol. He saw the bat symbol.
Yeah,
in there.
Google alerts is some really good shit. Because I saw you on Black Female Daily, all that black female fuckery. I got an Instagram account just for all them things to get some. If I want to do my uploads, you gotta get Google alerts for that because them hoes be staying steady.
I gotta get something like that.
But, all right. Let me roll this not so beautiful being footage here of another woman.
Yeah, we've been torturing people with her face, man. Like,
let's get her face off of here. But yeah, this is another one. Don't know what a woman is. But all right, let's go.
So, Dr. Robinson, I noticed in your written testimony you said that you use she/her pronouns. You're a medical doctor. What's a woman?
It's important for you to understand why I said I use she/her pronouns.
Well,
I understand that
I'm explaining.
He messed up with the lead in. You can't give him nothing else to work with.
No,
straight face. What's a woman? Don't say nothing. If you say three other words, you say three other syllables. That's not what's a woman. They're gonna focus on those three other syllables.
Look at the black chick in the back. Like look at the black chick in the back looking like she just looked like she saw like, I see you, nigga. They said, bitch, you cheating on me with.
I was explaining why I'm asking the question, but I just like you get an answer.
Why I said I use
woman.
It's important for you to understand why I said I use she/her pronouns.
Well,
I understand that
I'm explaining. I was explaining why I'm asking the question, but I just like you get an answer to the question. What's a woman?
I think it's important that we educate people like you about why we're doing the things that we do.
What do you mean people like you?
So the reason
Man,
that
pause this shit. Yo, can anybody in this space, I'm putting an open call out, find me a video of another race of female displaying this game. Because you notice they putting black women on the front street to be the face of this I don't know what a woman is bullshit. Go ahead. I just want to put that open call out.
Not only that, it's always a white man questioning a black woman about womanhood, and nobody finds that wrong and hilarious. Like why is white men trying to save black womanhood and you bitches are dying to destroy it? You're gonna fight the white man to ruin black womanhood, and he's like, no, just tell me what's a woman. It's like I don't know. As a woman, like, come on, man, this shit is terrible. This whole thing is terrible.
Well, white men, they're fighting to save black womanhood, but I'm pulling one of Ed numbers here. Keep bringing up Tawana as we unearthed. I believe the white man is the one qualified to determine whether or not they're a hoe or not. But I just want to throw that out there. He's trying to save womanhood, and he's the one qualified to determine whether or not they're a hoe. So. We just slipping in a jab at her, But all right, But anyway, back to the tape. And hold on, wait, somebody is saying something in the chat room. Damn it, I saw it. He said a story to tell. He says Louise Roseman. Wait, hold on. He said somebody is in the. Who the hell is this person right there? Hold on. He said he had announced somebody was in the chat. Okay, I don't know who that is. He had like added me to tell me that somebody was here, and I don't know who the person is that's here. So I was like, is somebody important here? I don't know who that is. But all right.
And her pronouns is because I understand that there are people who become pregnant that may not identify that way. And I think it is discriminatory to speak to people or to call them in such a way as they desire not to be called.
Thanks for that.
So it's important that we respect each individual person.
Are you going to answer my question? Can you answer the question, what's a woman?
I'm a woman. And I will ask you, which pronouns do you use?
Can you
If you tell me that you use she and her pronouns, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to call you Mr. Bishop. I'm going to respect you for how you want me to address you.
I'm just saying, so you give me an example of a woman. You say that you are a woman. Can you tell me, otherwise, can you tell me what a woman is?
Yes, I'm telling you, I'm a woman.
Is that as comprehensive a definition as you can give me?
That's as comprehensive as a definition as I will give you today, because I think that it's important that we focus on what we're here for, and it's to talk about access to abortion. Definitions as I will give you today, because I think that it's important that we focus on what we're here for, and it's to talk about access to abortion.
So you're not interested in
how
answering a
important
question
this
I
right
asked
is.
and answering a question that I ask unless it's part of a message you want to deliver. Is that right?
I'm sorry.
You're
because
not.
I was talking and you were talking.
Yes,
at the
ma'am.
same time.
I'm right. It's my time.
Okay, I just.
I hate her so much.
I ask you to uncover things by asking you questions and asking you to respond.
I hope she get police brutality one night. I hate her so much.
Holy shit! Damn, man.
The words of Hood Conservative is not necessarily reflected in Eric Anderson. You know, if I say something on my channel, I stand by everything I fucking say on my channel, including using F-bombs, which is why. So, but understand, I take the hits for what the fuck I say, not what nobody else says. Go ahead.
All right.
I say enough shit. I'm surprised they don't fuck with me like they fuck with Roger. You know, I hate that they fuck with his channel. I mean, I've been saying the F-bomb like all week. Niggas giving me phone calls on my phone number talking, nigga, we need you, man. We need you to not keep saying that. Well, that nigga's an FAG, so I called him an FAG. You think I was fucking playing? Anyway.
Yo, could you imagine, like, how do you deal with this mind? Like, how do you have conversation with women like this? What are you supposed to even do after a conversation like that? Like, what's the woman? I'm a woman. That's what trannies say, by the way. But that, anyway.
Well,
anyway.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, my point is, again, like if you look at the Black Lives Matter situation, where you look at they gave $21 million to LGBT organizations, and people say, well, what do you expect? My point is, black people are giving them money, not for them doing that. To do that shit. And even though I get it, people on the ground don't get it. So the thing that kills me the most about that is, I said it straight up. As soon as I'm gonna tell you right now, if you legit pro-black, as soon as any black female, because the dudes do it. Could you imagine a dude saying no homo, but what about the our gay brothers? How they get in on this? Could you imagine a dude pulling that bullshit? So my question is, if you're pro-black, anytime we're in a meeting and anybody brings up the gay shit, they should automatically be escorted out. Like, no questions asked. Not like what this chick tried to do. Well, no, you don't need to do nothing. You can do that over there by yourself because you're officially added. And make it very clear. Any references or vague references to LGBT, that is not our meeting. So if you choose to try to do that in the first, second, or third degree, because we know all the slick shit you Negroes try, you are automatically out of this conversation. Like seriously. And they will do that anyway, because you know how black people are. Because if a black man says it, the matriarch, the black women go kick in and do it just to challenge, because that's who they are. They're obligated to do it at that point, and then you got to kick them out, like for real, because they are incapable of having. What's crazy is, even though this fucks women up for what they try to advocate for with men, But they still, well, what about them? I'm like, y'all the only motherfuckers doing that. Do you think these white females, when it's time to dole out shit with whiteness, if they have those meetings, they're playing that game? They're not, like, only y'all are doing that. And nobody calls that out. Like even when it comes to the Democrat, like, why are y'all, anyway, I'm gonna go on a rant. My bad.
Yeah,
it's only black women that do that goofy shit. I've only heard black women do that. What about LGBT? What about this? Right there, you should, like, just like how we quick to call people coons. Right there, you're a coon. Bye.
When I first got on Twitter and I was like covering the black Twitter spaces, I noticed a weird thing. The black Twitter crowd, just gay and black, kind of has their own space, and they're fighting for placement in the mainstream of blackness. That's a weird battle going on where, like, the gay crowd wants to take the dominant role in the culture. Well, I don't think you guys want that to happen.
Well, that's the I mean, I personally, that's the what they call it, the splinterization of the black community. And really, that's the price. So, I mean, a lot of these chicks are gone. And eventually, what black men thought is at some point, black women were going to get their mind right. It couldn't go so crazy. These chicks these motherfuckers will be in the WNBA dunking on their ass, and they'll still be advocating for it. And that sounds crazy.
And I'm waiting for it to happen. I want the Joanna Man documentary, real life. All right. We got to bring the memes into reality. Joanna Man is going to be like 2 years from now. I promise you. 2 years from now.
Yeah. So it's kind of like and the thing about it is there is no benefit. You got a couple of chicks being able to hustle here or there, AKA Black Lives Matter, but there's no real benefit to that. And so they're still doing it. And it gets to the point where if you hear the rhetoric like 4 years ago 4 years ago was 2018, like 5 years ago versus what you hear today, the women are like, nothing needs to be logical. It's just what I feel. Like, I can't even listen to Clubhouse,
Clubhouse is wild.
Yeah, now TikTok,
I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, I refuse. And I got multiple Apple products. Now, TikTok, I'll deal with because them chicks be snitching. There's a couple of red pill folks that's trying to do some red pill work, some guys you want to interview. But, nigga, they stay talking about, well, you're talking about sexual inappropriate. So these niggas, they be flagging. They be flagging, yo. It's crazy.
Nah, that video that you got queued up, Bernard, like, that is insane, man. Like, it's not me. You women are making me this way. It's not me. I just listen to what you women say, and I make judgments. Yeah, I judge. I'm sorry. I'm judging.
This right here is one of the worst videos. It's really hard to categorize it. It's like, and somebody in this, not in this space, but around this space, somebody that everybody in this space know about. I didn't hear her say it, but I've been told that she said something like this. But I'm just about to roll it, and we just about to see what happened. I mean, shout out to this bare minimum a blackish woman who was questioning her on this. But either way, let's go.
Do you believe in abortion after birth? Would you?
I believe in whatever the woman wants to choose to do. That's her choice.
At any point of the child's life?
At any point of the lady's life, that's her choice.
That's that New Orleans accent.
Kill another person's body.
It's gonna always be her choice.
Even after the baby's born.
It's always her choice.
So if they're 2 years old,
it's always her choice.
I can kill my 2-year-old.
It's a woman's right to choose.
The black woman is God.
Kill their child at any point.
A woman's right to choose.
Do you believe in?
Okay, before y'all say anything,
she has a low IQ.
I was telling myself she don't understand the question. After the first time, I was like, okay, she didn't understand the question. She thought she meant at any point during the pregnancy. But then she kept saying after it's born, when it's 2 years old. So then she literally said, so I can kill my child at any point. Like she kept restating it enough to where I was like, I know it's going to click in and she's going to realize what she's being asked. And then I had to say, okay, wait a minute. I think she do understand the question. Like I was seriously trying to say she don't understand what she's being asked. Go ahead.
Yeah, Ed started to say something about she's low IQ, and that may or may not be true. But like, how much IQ does it take to not want to, abort your baby? Like at a certain point, I don't even think it's an IQ issue. This is just a cultural thing. This is what you are.
Yeah, we're not talking about aborting a baby. She made it clear at least 5 times. I am not talking about a woman inside your belly. I mean, I'm not talking about a person inside your belly. I am talking about a person who's crossed the Rubicon. This person exists. This person has came out. They've passed the threshold. They've leaped that hurdle. They're no longer in your stomach. She made it clear a bunch of times.
Hey,
so a part of me was thinking like, okay, she's probably dumb. I get it. Maybe she don't understand, but she asked enough times. She asked her enough times.
Yeah. I don't think it's an IQ thing. This is just who you are. Whether if you were a genius, you would still be like this. Because who was on the panel earlier saying he spoke to a black fertility doctor who also supports abortion. It's like, do you want to put yourself out of business? Or actually, no, that's how you keep yourself in business indefinitely.
JC the Conqueror in the building. He says there a brother in the chat who has 1.7 million subs. I looked him up. I didn't know who he was, but somebody told me that he was in the chat. I definitely just looked him up. So shout out and salute to Mr. 1.7 million subs coming on through. I do appreciate that. Nice to know that, big people in big places coming down to watch. That's nice. He says, and he not a black man. He says, to the people saying the black manosphere is dead, go kick rocks. Right on. But shout out to JC the Conqueror and shout out to Mr. 1.7 million subs. I think it's Luis Rosman, if I got the name right. Yeah. But all right. Back to it. Ed, you sound like you don't got much to say about this one.
No, give me a second. I'm doing something. Give me like 2 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I got some shit.
Nah, I want to get Ed's comment on the Bad Bitch Olympics. Like, I'm just waiting for that. I need Ed to see the Bad Bitch Olympics.
Oh man, Bad Bitch Olympics. Like that is the funniest shit, man. That is the funniest stuff. I
don't know if you watch SKC's channel all that much, but I remember last week he did a stream and he was covering, there was this one chick and she was with the whole abortion crowd and all that, and she was doing some kind of demonstration and it was the worst thing. She had like a baby doll, she was smashing a baby on the ground, it was just all kind of craziness going on out there, and I'm like, yo, this event is just pulling out the worst in y'all, and I'm just watching, taking notes.
Yeah. But we'll get Ed's commentary on that when he get back. But I'm in the process of pulling up the Bad Bitch Olympics. I don't know what they're competing for. I don't know what in the Olympics, there's a competition. I don't know what.
Yeah,
I don't know the categories in the event. That's what I'm.
I haven't been able to track it down either. I don't know what the actual event was. I don't know why they were all gathered there.
So yeah, I mean that's just some shit. That's attention whoring shit. There's no purpose point to that. Like the bad bit, like that. That's just some shit. That's people that they're doing for clout, for the YouTube, for the gram, for social media. Yeah, so as far as what you were talking about with what that chick was saying, I mean, yeah, there was Nyla that said that shit.
Yeah.
With the and I mean, this is how these people, I mean, they're just I love it. I appreciate it. I want it all out there because that's the best way to inoculate these niggas from being in denial. That's how you deal with that. You can't be in denial. I mean, and we have articles. I mean, Pink Book has covered this. Other people's covered this. The article, as far as the female killing her kids because she didn't have custody. These women do believe that. And it sounds like I'm being hyperbolic, but if they can't have these kids, a lot of these females believe these kids don't. If these kids do not serve their purpose that I want them to serve, they don't need to be alive. This is how, and by the way, and to be fair, I know I'm throwing a lot of names around. But this is one of the reasons why Jason Black was very and I call him out when he's on that bullshit, but this is why he's on women that have abortions. As far as he's concerned, and I don't necessarily agree with this. I don't go this far with it because I'm like, I just want you not to have a kid, have a whole bunch of bodies. But he says, as far as he's concerned, you lose something as far as your womanhood when you've aborted a child that makes you unworthy of you having my kid. Because there's something about, like, as far as he's concerned, you can't be a good mother if you've had an abortion. That's his policy, and honestly, that's not a crazy policy to have.
Nope, it's not.
Because the thing about it is, just like, and look, I'm not against what Stu was saying as far as the Bible, but what we need to show is that and look, I'm not saying that the Bible is not real world, but if you communicate to these chicks in the Bible, they're gonna be like, you mean that church that we fucking jacked from y'all? Did y'all tell everything that y'all tell everything that we want to hear because y'all too bitch made to stand on it? Like the pastor that I listen to don't even stand on the Bible when it goes against what I want to happen. So why should I listen to you? That's their mentality. So this is why I don't understand why people use the church, but it's the same thing. When you have multiple bodies, it's 1,000 dead eyes there. White boys say that all the time. All that. It's the same thing when you have an abortion. I don't care. Like because when you understand what, and now I'm a dude trying to tell a woman what that is, but Shay Sade is talking about this. When you understand the psychological effects that an abortion has, and you have evidence of women saying this after the fact, like there's a video where a chick said she aborted twins, and then the other female was like double homicide.
Look, Ed, think about this for a minute. You just said it plainly. There's psychological effects to that. And we know that the abortion rate is out of control when it comes to Black women. So now my question is, how many Black women are walking around? Why do you think they have the 1,000 cock stare? Why do you think they have resting bitch face? They know what they did last summer.
And we know they use abortion, and we know they use abortion as birth control too, which is why their numbers are overwhelming compared to other groups. Black women have more We're talking about 19 million abortions since I think the law got passed. They have like, I was thinking of doing like a McDonald's graphic, talk about just like made X amount of hamburgers, aborted X amount of kids, and it goes up and up and up based on how many abortions that happen during the day. Like I said, y'all want to do that femicide bullshit. I can match the fuckery, and trust me, at the end, I'll win. If y'all want to play that game, we can play it. I just don't like to be that guy most of the time. So we can play that game with you because that's statistic. That's hard data. That ain't a fucking survey. But the point is that has a psychological effect on women. Women have said that. This has been studied. This is not debatable. This idea that y'all, and then we're not even talking about one of the reasons why a lot of Black women have kids in their 30s is because some of them had so many abortions because that tears up your wall. That tears up your vaginal wall, so the eggs can't always stick. So a lot of these chicks, they were surprised they were able to get pregnant, and then they want to have that kid because they like that's their only chance they're gonna have it. When you see a lot of women having miscarriages and stuff all the time, either they're having babies too late or they got that womb cut the fuck up because that's what happens every time you got to get that kid up. I mean, if you actually understand what the process of abortion is. And I'm not necessarily pro-life. I'm pro that chick shouldn't have the right to abort a kid because they've clearly demonstrated they don't know how to deal with it. If we're going to have a single mother problem, we should have the numbers to go along with it. How the fuck are we missing numbers as far as percentage of this population that gives us voting power and shit? And we got a single mother problem. That's not where the fuck is the family planning in the Black community?
Yeah, no captivity with Freezy in the building says I am $1 billion. Okay, sure. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
I am $1 billion. Wait, what? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I missed it.
All right. Put 5 on it though. But all right.
I mean, how many? Yeah, but that's so again, think about it. With all these women that are well, not all, but the few women that are childless. Like that's another. We don't even bring that up into the conversation. Like if you're really talking about the viability, two things we don't bring up. We don't really bring up the debt. That if a man is gonna marry you, what he inherits, and like you're talking about the mental debt, Because these chicks don't even want to think about getting married until they're 30. Do you understand all of the sexual experiences they've usually had because they have easy sexual access? Then you look at the debt that they ain't serviced at all. Even though they got these jobs making all this fucking money. Then we're talking about the ones without kids now. We're just talking about the ones without kids. We're not even talking about the sexual transmitted diseases they might have had, because I don't give a fuck what you say. It's all AIDS to me. That's how I look at it. If you had anything, I don't want to touch you. That's how
I feel like
don't
there's
give a fuck.
STDs in this
AIDS.
clip that we're about to play. I feel like this clip is full of STDs.
It's all HIV. I don't want none of it. Like, it's just this. I took some medicine, bitch. That ain't the flu.
Hold on, wait. Let's, real quick.
Ed said all y'all got AIDS.
Hey, I was talking about. Hey, nigga, I choose to love myself. I choose me.
All right, let's make sure. Hold on, y'all, real quick. Let's make sure we get numbers right. Freeman's Journal says 46% of black women have multiple baby daddies. Is it that 46% of black women that have children have multiple baby daddies?
They have children, and I think it's like 67%. So this is the one thing I will say. This is one of the few legitimate criticisms. We probably could do a better job in this space, talk about how many women have kids. So apparently 67% of black women have kids. So of that 67%, this is where you get the 70% of women are single mothers. So 67. So basically that's roughly 3/4 of 67. So divide 67 by 4 and multiply it times 3. And then you get a more accurate percentage of what it is. So 67 divided by 4 times 3. Yeah. So basically half of all black women, basically are single mothers as far as the entire count.
Yeah.
But we're talking, but remember, just like how they say, that's counting all females. That's counting women under 18, females under 18 that don't have kids. So keep that in mind with that. So that everybody ain't in the dating pool. But the point is that's way higher than any other group. Number one. And number two, again, if you start to take the ones that don't have kids, then you got STDs, you got the debt. We ain't even talked about weight. So anyway, we play this Olympic bullshit.
All right. Sir Tyson in the building said, is that Ed Big Nate speaking? I think because he was going hard on abortion. I think that's why he called that.
No. I mean,
Freeman's Journal. Hey, send the survey. I tell people that anybody got any data. Kristen Hutchinson do that. He sent me a lot of data. I may not do exact content on it, but any data that you got, just send it to me. I like to review it. I like to look at it. I like to arm myself with all the facts and stats. So thank you for that. Definitely send it to me. All right. Oh yeah, Ed. Before I even move forward to this, since you went on and said that you put it out there that, and I didn't want to talk about it on the air last time, but I don't give a damn. Now I'll talk about it. When you said that Nyla said something about post-birth abortion. How did she say it? Because I'm assuming you heard it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was on Red Supreme.
How did she give me the few sentences or paragraph before it and a little after it? Like what was she really saying? Like, I mean, I understand what she was saying, but just, I mean, how did she even frame it? I'm just trying to figure out, how do you even get there on a damn platform?
She was talking about black men like they weren't human. She said, how could you birth this thing? And Red Supreme is good about playing shit over and over and over, so you know what you heard. How could you birth this thing that's gonna turn against you, this thing that's gonna do blase, blase, blah. And he said, we need to have a serious conversation about having post-birth abortions. Basically killing black boys. I mean, she said it over and over and over and over. And that's when Womansphere was talking about dudes were her son around, talking about how low IQ dudes are. I'll clip it out and give it to you.
You want to know what's funny?
When I say a chick deserves a little police brutality every now and then, I'm going too far across the pale. You know what I mean? I don't even want her dead. She can make it home. She can limp home after that, but you deserve a few police brutalities.
You just said you need her ass whooped.
That's all I'm saying.
You talking about killing kids? You just saying she need her ass whipped.
Well, the problem is, it's just like what you said, sir. If you give them 3 words and they turn a whole novel, turn it into a whole fucking novel. They're like, oh my God, see? Like, next thing you know, Jada go pop up. See, this is what I'm talking about. You're the conservative in your channel talking about violence.
You want to know what's funny, Ed? And you probably don't remember this because it just happened on a random live stream. And that was back when that, put it like this, that I don't even know what's going on with that sector that was, I think, was formerly known as the B1 sector over there.
I call it Arkham Asylum, but go ahead.
With Nyla and all of them. I remember this was a while ago. She was having a discussion with Black Women's Sphere. This was a while ago. And Black Women's Sphere, she basically, she been pretty consistent. She was like, hey, I don't care about black men. I care about black women and black children. And keep in mind, back then, this is probably about 2.5 years ago, Nyla said, well, okay, so if you care about black women and black children, well, how does that work? What is the cutoff? Because black children, that includes black boys. So do you care about them all the way up into 17 years and 364 days, and then the next date, and then they cut off? Like, what are you saying? Like, Nyla was asking questions like that back then. So it's interesting, this full 180 that's going on now, because but I mean, I guess that's the difference. Before it's like that B1 sector merged with the divestment community, and they just then said fuck it and just went full gangster.
I wonder what has happened in her marriage for her to hate black men so much.
I ain't going there. I ain't going there.
Somebody has to ask the question.
Go ahead.
I'm not about to go in. All I'm going to do is Red Supreme's cover. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, I said I'm only discussing rhetoric and talking points. I don't get into them people's personal life. I'm just basing it. Okay, these are the talking points she said at that, recently. This is what I heard her say back then. That's all. I'm just, my outside looking in observation is that after Kevin Samuels blew up, all the sisterhood, they joined forces. They formed Hotron. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. I didn't make up Hotron, but they joined forces and formed Hotron. And basically, all those sectors emerged. Cynthia G merged with the swirling community, the divestment community, and that pro-black community that we always said was a black woman first. All of that merged together into just a cocktail of hating black men. That happened after Kevin Samuels blew up. They started all collaborating, sharing each other's shit, and they basically just made just a perfect cocktail of outright hatred towards black men. And that's, I think, my estimation, that's how she evolved from asking a really good question to Black Women's Sphere to saying, okay, yeah, kill your black male children even after they're born. Anyway, my take on that. I ain't been wanting to talk about that. I'll never do a stream on something like that. That's Red Supreme lane. I just throw it in. I just hide it in the back of a 3-hour live stream. That's what I do. I ain't going all the way in on that, but go ahead. Any one of y'all can respond to that if y'all want. Then we get into this other bullshit.
Nah, I'm waiting for the Olympics to start. I want to see who's going to carry the torch.
All right, man. All right. Hey, y'all go easy in the chat. Go easy in the chat. I didn't attack nobody personally. I only asked about talking points. We don't do that over here. We don't do it over here. I seen y'all throwing out personal stuff and making personal attacks, personal jabs. I don't do that over here.
I'm like, so I mean, that's go over Red Supreme. I mean,
it just goes without saying.
Yeah, go to Red Supreme channel, type in Women's Sphere, and you get it from directly her mouth. But anyway, I want to share this real quick because you said you wanted to hear it. Like, cause we let people act. I'm gonna show you. I got the video. Like, this is my video of me listening to Red Supreme. So you want to? This is directly the clip. This ain't no 5 minutes, 10 minutes going in because I know you want to play this other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let me get it because I want y'all to hear this. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Buy clothes for it, cook for it, and not realize you're feeding a demon. Okay? What we need to do is see if we can invest in
demon time.
Abortion. Because
wait, rewind it, because Hood Servitor spoke right at the operative moment. Hold on.
I was dedicated to us black men.
Some of that stuff is repetitive. All right. This right here, what y'all about to hear. Let me make sure. Right here. Ready? Let's go.
I finally get it. How the fuck can you give birth to something like this? Look it in its face. Feed it. Change its diapers. Send it to school. Buy clothes for it. Cook for it. And not realize you're feeding a demon. Okay? What we need to do is see if we can invest in post-birth abortion. Because some of you motherfuckers don't belong here and don't need to be here. It says 7 more hours dedicated to us black men. Look.
So I want. Anyway,
There it
that's
is.
what she said. Yeah, so I don't be making this shit up. Like, that shit pissed me off because I couldn't even get through that video that Red did because, you know, because Red will play it over and over just to make sure he drives it home, you know. And I ain't gonna get started with Women's Fear basically saying, oh, black men are retarded, low IQ, and their sons right there like, wow, yeah, low IQ. And I'm like, You got 3 kids from different, and my thing is, look, man.
How do you live in that house hearing this? Like, you be in the next room trying to watch football, trying to play Madden, and you hear, we should abort you niggas. Like, how do you live with this?
Well, that's what Red's
How can
point
you live
was.
with women like this, bro?
That's what Red's point was, and that's what he kept hammering him with, and so, but the thing. It's
Friedman, email that to me, Friedman's Journal. Email me that article. You drop it in the live chat. I'll never see it. It's going to disappear. Email it to me.
Yeah, that's what you want something to. I gave it to you, nigga. Just that much.
Yeah, like
you drop it in the stack of paperwork, man.
Yeah.
You like Amber Heard. Just put that divorce in the chat, you know. And boy, that white bitch got Amber Heard. That lawyer, boy, they got some clips of that. Yo, she looked at her. She gave her a death stare. Like, you should. It's this clip where Johnny Depp's lawyer looks at Amber Heard and she's like dealing with her. It was something where she gave her something, like something for her to like Exhibit A or something for her to look at. Yo, and the way she made eye contact, I was like, man, this bitch is about to Emmett Till my ass. Like, for real, this bitch about to find a way to get my that was the death stare for your ass.
Yo, Amber Heard low key doing bumps of coke in the witness box, man. Come on.
I don't
crazy.
know.
That whole trial is nuts.
I don't know about law. All I know is when they start hugging attorneys, somebody got fucked. when they start hugging the attorney, I've seen enough TV shows to know somebody got just got messed up. But anyway, yeah, man, shout out to the lead attorney. He's getting a lot of subscribers off of that shit, man.
Oh yeah,
the white boys, man. It's 230,000 live viewers. I'm like, you fuck y'all, man. Anyway, they cleaned it up.
No Captivity with Freezy says, I am $1 billion. I was being sarcastic towards trans people saying they can be whatever they want to be. You just read it late. Right on. Got you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the super chats. Appreciate that. Thanks for the clarification on that. Appreciate you. But all right, we about to this about to take us home. The bad bitch Olympics. This is the last thing we're gonna look at here. This is the only thing we're gonna have time for. But all right, man. The conservative. Any moment you can tell me to pause it. I don't even know what to do with this shit. But all right.
I haven't seen this. When I see shit like this, I ignore it. So you're getting
it got sent to me. It did get sent to me by a couple people. And so yeah, but here we go. Okay, when the person signing people in is like that, you know this is a trashy ass event. When the person who's signing people in got like a color coordinated thong with her ass out. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, motherfucking 336 money in the motherfucking building, bitch, from Greensboro, North Carolina. Nobody but I'm big dog.
I'm from Chicago.
Let me go ahead and tell you real quick. Turn the camera this way. These houses in my motherfucker. They ain't talking about nothing. So when you hear ask about pink, period. So they check in with me when y'all hoes come through the door. What y'all hoes doing, ho? We ain't going out this way.
Oh, stop. What was the grill? Hold the grill. Pause on the grill. No.
There we go.
Oh, Lord. There's 3 dead teeth in there.
3 dead teeth.
Aborted teeth.
The show is literally called the Bad Bitch Olympics. I just want to know, what are the events? What are the categories? What do they have to do to win? I really want to know this. That's the only thing I want to know here. That's the only thing that's relevant. I just want to know what are they competing in? What events are they competing in?
I'm sorry. I'm at the expense of seeming like a simp. I would love to see Melanie King do a reaction to this shit. This is a reaction I want to see. I want to see the look on her face watching.
Yeah, her face. Yeah, okay, never mind. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, you know, she know how to pretend. She.
I didn't want to sound like a hater, but you said.
I'm not hating. No, she know how to.
She be overacting and exaggerating the facial expressions like it's a thumbnail, but she's doing it in a live video. Like, goddamn. Like,
hey, she gonna be she be like the results of results, motherfucker. Like, yeah, but that's what it is with them reactions. They all do that. The ones that really know how to do it, they be overreacting and shit. Like, performing that.
I guess it's a part of the game. But yeah.
Big Lulu, big VA, big everything, big VA. My pussy real good. It's big banks in this motherfucker. Everybody know me. I'm signed under.
The Black Manosphere secretly hosted this event in order to gather data in order to gather data all the cities and states of the bitches to stay away from.
Fat Joe's course, and y'all know everybody know the fuck. Everybody know me. I'm signed under Fat Joe's course, and y'all know I'm big in this bitch. Banks Red, check me on YouTube. We live. We on the big legs. You'll see me in season 2, and I wish a bitch would.
Yo, stop for a minute. I noticed something because like a friend of mine for some reason she likes Lizzo like as an artist. She listens to Lizzo music, and so every now and then I catch a Lizzo video and I'm like, holy shit, somebody is really trying to make BBWs a mainstream thing.
Yeah, that's black.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm watching. I'm like, Lizzo don't even have fat men in her videos, but she got all these BBWs. Like, what's up with this?
I blame black men. Yeah. You niggas know who you are. These chicks work. There was an argument we got on my stream about black women fucking dudes with babies on the bed. These chicks look like those type of bitches on air mattresses. I haven't seen the chick on this video. Don't look like she liable to do some goofy shit like
that. All right, moving on.
And I wish a bitch would get corrected. Don't fuck with me.
Jacksonville, Florida, 904. The winner's here. These bitches can go home.
All right, so the ladies behind me. Here. The ladies behind me.
This is apparently season 2 of whatever the hell they doing. So we missed season 1, but we behind.
I mean, these chicks, I wonder how these chicks, well, we already know how they got the money to come here.
Right. There's a lot of secrets about that.
The same way they're going to get the money to get back when they don't win. Like,
right.
For waiting to enter the building if you've already.
I hate that. I personally hate that.
Wow.
I really have a serious problem with that. I only got to describe what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
No, black, purple, and blonde don't go together, though. I think black, purple, and blonde just don't mix. Like, one of those colors has to get dropped. You have to drop the black. You have to drop the blonde. You can't have all three together.
It's no color of outfit that can make that blonde hair look right on her. That's the problem. I'm not worried about the purple. There's no color of outfit that can make that blonde hair look
have
right.
6 to Goddess do a reaction to this bullshit. She be
You're going to be interviewed on
catch me on that TV.
And I'm going to leave it at you don't want to do it for business. Everybody else is walking.
Vote for me. Period. It's your bitch. That bitch savage. Vote for me.
And they be having on them damn eyebrows like shit.
I mean, I'm listening. Everybody take a shot every time they say bitch. You'll be dead by 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's your bitch. I mean, this is what listening to Cardi B, Nicki Minaj for years. This is what that shit does, and it's crazy. It's because the thing about it is they'll try to make it like
rapper energy.
Yeah,
you know what? I just thought about this. It got to be a whole generation of like how long Nicki Minaj been out? Like 14 years, 12 years?
Yeah, she came out in 2008.
She old now, yeah.
Okay, so she came out in 2008. That's 14 years. Okay, so it's chicks who 20 right now who they grew up on Nicki Minaj. I never even thought about that.
And Trina was a couple of years before her. When Trina wasn't Nicki Minaj at her level, but she was known.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting it like Nicki Minaj is a certain type of cultural icon in
you
terms of
can't
just
blame
scale.
Lil Kim for these chicks at this age.
Yeah,
Nah, this is
I mean,
Nicki.
yeah, Lil Kim exists, but I mean, everything things are kind of different now. Like it's
Lil
a
Kim wasn't
generation.
promoted like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole generation of people who just had it on their tablet in their room, and like that's what they grew up on. They're 8 years old, and they just grew up just watching, Nicki Minaj on a damn tablet their whole life.
R.I.P. Kevin. Could you imagine if Kevin did a reaction? Kevin wouldn't. He couldn't do a reaction. I need to watch that T. I need to watch that T.
He's way below him.
Exactly. I don't know what he could say to like. I have no commentary for this. That's why I did actually because I thought about doing some. I had some funny jokes that I was just about to reel off. I was gonna do a pre-recorded video where I just roasted it and just made some funny jokes.
You know who lane this is? This is Jap with a collaboration with Ramil. This is who should do this.
Oh yeah.
That's more they lane. That's more their territory. Yeah, I was about to roast it, but I just couldn't even bring myself to do it. And then we put this show together. This was in the package, and I was like, okay, so I guess I am about to finally talk about this shit. But now that I'm talking about it, I ain't got shit to say.
Quick question, because I know I kind of disagree with you on the tattoo front. We both don't have tattoos, by the way. Did you see the video with Bandman Kevo? What he said. You know who Bandman Kevo is?
I know. Understand that he's the person who got the tattoo of Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, he got inside. Do you know why? Did you see the video say why he got it?
No.
I almost spit out my drink, man. That nigga said, "Yeah, man, I got a tattoo because I looked up to Kevin, and then when he died and there was these women, people were talking shit. I said, you know what? I was gonna get the tattoo as a covering, but I'm gonna get it on my thigh because you know what? When these bitches suck my dick, I want them to see Kevin."
Okay.
Whoa, that's sus like a motherfucker. That's super sus, bro. No, wow, no, pause.
He said, I want them to know. Yeah.
I thought he was about to say, I got the tattoo just to let these bitches know, and that just going to leave it right there.
Oh, no. He said that. I'll say it was only an 11-minute video. He said exactly that. He said, when they get on their knees, and I want them to judge. And the way the tattoo looked, it does look like Kevin's judging.
Man, I'm just saying he got Kevin's face too close to his dick. That ain't cool.
Right, like y'all having a threesome now. Like, chill, bro. We don't need this.
Oh, I know. Yeah, hold on.
Doing too much.
Hold on. What's funny? Al Boogie, professional hater, keep wanting to say, and you watched it. Nigga, it was an 11-minute video, and he said that at like 6 minutes. I don't know what he said after the rest of the video because I didn't watch the rest of the video.
Well, Al Boogie, you got too much of a problem with Ed. Is that? I mean, hold on, let me make sure. Is that a reoccurring thing? Al Boogie always come in.
Yeah, he be on other shit too, talking shit. I don't know what the fuck is his problem.
Yeah, you got too much of a problem with Ed.
Nigga talking all the time. Nigga, I haven't even been talking like that up until up front. But it's like popular not to like me. It's like certain. Well, that's another thing, and I've been getting rid of folks like a motherfucker too. Because if niggas start coming with that stupid shit, I mean, Hood Servant has seen it. Them niggas be coming with that dumb shit. I just don't be entertaining that shit like that no more. And so niggas be, he said that shit ain't even funny. That shit's sick. Not really. Nah, I mean, I can understand why somebody would think, but so you're saying that it's niggas shut up. Nigga, you know what kills me is I got niggas that are telling me it's common for dudes to fuck women with their infant kids, not the dude's kids, but the bitch's kids on an air mattress. But you saying that's, and I've seen, and Al Boogie, I've heard multiple people tell me this, and they saying I'm a square for thinking that shit's out there. And Al Boogie's been in these chats, so I already know Al Boogie's full of shit. Al Boogie's been in these chats when this shit comes up. Because I was arguing you shouldn't even be fucking a chick with the kid in the house. These niggas are about, yeah, man, this shit with baby. I'm like, nigga, y'all do that? Well, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck?
To me, that's a horrible thing. I'll never do it.
But you've heard it.
I can know what I'm just saying is I understand exactly how it end up happening. I'm not even gonna soft shoe it. I'm not gonna say end up happening. I know why people do that trifling shit. And they do it because they go over a broke chick house that got a baby, and she don't got no baby bed, no bassinet, no crib, no nothing. The baby sleep in her bed. So the baby's right there sleep in her bed, and then they in the room while the baby sleep in the bed. And niggas.
Yeah,
niggas.
and my thing is it really? That's a whole nother thing. Because my point is, I don't even. Yeah, the dudes. I'm looking down on.
Here we go. Look at niggas out here guilty.
Well, because my point is, look, I'm not trying to let dudes off.
That's why I'm laughing too.
Hold on, I be side. I'm not
there.
I'll be side-eyeing dudes, but the reality is the baby is in the custody of the mother. That's your baby. You see what I'm saying? So if you know women are out here doing that, then you understand that there's a lot of chicks getting raw dogged and not wanting you like this. It's a character thing to the mentality. but it's not funny. And I appreciate Jot in the house. I'm not talking. Hold on. I'm not talking about in the house. I mean, that's just something where you can debate, but that's not an issue. I'm talking about on the bed. I'm not even talking about in a crib in the room. I'm talking about on the same bed.
No, you mean like on the bed. When a baby gets up in the middle, like get off my mama, like that type of on the bed.
And I'm talking about fuck a bed. I'm talking about on an air mattress where one wrong and then somebody's pot is taking flight.
I distinctly remember telling a chick because like we was in the living room and the baby she did have a baby that was in her bed sleep. And I remember just jokingly saying, but dead serious, saying, "Okay, it's about time for you to go get that little cock blocker out of the bed and put him somewhere else, right?" You know, because I was telling her like this is about to go down, but I'm just saying I need the baby out of the bed. It never occurred to me that us getting it in while the baby's still there in the bed would happen.
I don't know if Buddy bullshit.
He's like, what's wrong with you? You can't do it with the baby on the floor?
I believe Buddy. He said, you know, I did that when I was 21 and the chick was 36. I know. Yeah, and that's a lot of that going on too. Of females that are 36 fucking young niggas because they're fucking young and dumb niggas. It's like that's been going on for a long time. That's actually not that there's a lot of dudes that can testify to that going all the way back to the 90s and shit, and probably longer than that. So the thing about it is, even I have my limits as far as how far I would go. But what my thing is, I'm glad Al Boogie tried to say what he tried to say, because you got dudes that when dudes do shit, it's like they have this judgment on shit. Because at the end of the day, he said that shit on the video, just like how people jumped on Kevin for saying what he was saying when he, you know, was chastising the dude as far as you don't have the currencies that I call him to get a chick, but you complaining. But he said it in a way the dude's playing no homo. When you look at how this shit the women do, it's like so matter of fact. It's like no, there is no disgust or anything like that. Like it's like dudes don't have that same meter, and we know why this is. This is because you're allowed to critique men, but when it comes to checking women, there's always a reason. Let me tell you something. Any female that allows a man to fuck her while a child is on a bed, as far as I'm concerned, does not need to be a mother. I was in foster care for 1 year over some bullshit that my mom did going to the cops. And I'm not trying to be judgmental. My mom got 3 different, all my brothers got different dads. I'm not here to judge you. But there's certain shit that when you do shit like that, you don't come back from that. There is no reason. Now, with the dudes, it is what it is, because it's like, hey, that ain't my baby. Because we know niggas ain't doing that when it's they kids. Do y'all believe niggas will do that if it's they kid?
No,
exactly.
Niggas won't do that.
Yeah,
but yes and no. It's not quite the same. When it's your kid and you're in a family house, like when you actually live in a house with a woman, it becomes a chore to try to have sex sometimes when you got kids all over.
That's different.
That's a different kind of scenario.
If it's the mama and the daddy, then you know I do look at that as different. That's, you know, the 6-month-old knocked out sleep, and then she's laying, you know, she's laying on her side, and you just slipped it in low key. Like that shit like that happens with a family.
Yeah, that's not a moral transgression in the same way as just like you are disrespecting some other nigga and his baby when you go over to her house and smash like that.
Yeah, and these are the things, and like I said, in our space, we only air out about 60% of the stuff we could really air out based on a lot of people's like collective experience. Like we got black men of multiple generations and stuff, and there's a lot of stuff we don't say, number one, because it'll get shut down on YouTube, but we don't even say it on Patreon or anything like that because we ain't really trying to air people out like that. But my point is, like I said, that's what Bandman Kevo said. That motherfucker got 1 million subscribers. He put that on his YouTube for everybody to see. So y'all want to go and judge his ass? Go judge him. I'm not here to tell you not to. I'm just telling you what he said. I mean, he should probably get more bitches than y'all are getting. So, I mean, got the bitch begging, lying, talking about she homeless when he dropping $30,000 for her to get a place to stay. So, hey, that's a street nigga. So y'all charge that to them. I'm on the square side. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
My bad. I took that to Niggerville for real.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. To segue back into it, I would willing to say that about 90% of these chicks done been smashed with the baby in the bed. I'd say about 90% of them.
Okay, you're behind me, you're ready to move it along in that process.
Oh, look at this shit. How you get dressed in your best and you show up with visible tears in the damn. Oh,
I mean, my thing is, and the thing is, it's one thing if you're gonna do the hot girl shit, do it right. I mean, like none of these chicks look like you fucking with niggas with any kind of bread. Like you want to talk about a nigga need, you talk about nigga need 100,000. You don't even look like you fucking with niggas with like 40 or 30. That's the way they showing the fuck up.
Them the leggings with the hole in the crotch. She just out walking around with it on.
You can tell because if you look, and I'm observing this. I told you, look, I lived in the hood long enough. I'm in the middle. Like you can tell by these chicks weaves, and even with the thottery, you can tell what they have on. They don't even have quality shit. Now none of these bitches got their hair sewed in. These shit like the tear, that's just easy. All this stuff is like, none of it is like premium thottery shit. It's all basic. None of this is hood rich shit. It's all basic dollar. This is dollar store thottery.
It ain't like what they call Bagetto or Bagetto, bougie and ghetto together. It ain't none of that shit. I do know what you're talking about, where there is a classy way to pull off your ratchetry. These ain't them ones.
Well,
these are ones that they scrounged up what was left of a Popeye's chicken check and bought some whatever, or just scrounged up whatever whole shit they could find around the house and just say, all right, we out, we leaving, we going, we ready for battle.
A nigga with a job is an upgrade. If you fucking a barber, that's a high value man to you. Like y'all really trying to act like y'all got access to niggas with money. Like please, like nah. I can. Come on, man. Like these chicks look like they look like shopping at Goodwill, yo, and not even the Goodwill where the white people at, so you get the good clothes.
Big Nunu, not the little one. New York to ATL, we here, but it Big Lex, we coming for you, baby. Mermaid taking over.
You need to stop accepting drug payment for that pussy.
Badass, bitch. DMV, what's up?
Which one of y'all said count how many times you don't hear somebody say bitch?
Me, and then take a shot. Yeah, I mean, this is.
Don't okay.
You can tell these chicks they accept drugs for sex.
Wow. Is that Louis? I really gotta know though, what event is this? Like, what reality show is this?
You know who else would do well with this video? Platinum Elite. Shout out to Platinum.
Oh, Platinum would be with it.
Hoes. Yeah, Platinum was probably there. He was live on set.
Platinum would be one
Platinum, the cameraman.
Yeah, I was just about to say Platinum was working the camera. Like this is Platinum Lane right here. He with all of this.
Yeah, the fresh gang. I ain't even hating because Platinum has being subscribers. He creeping up there on the low.
Yeah, I mean, no, he doing good with his channel. He definitely put in that work. I give credit when credit due. He be going hard. He consistent. But yeah, no, he with all this. All these can get that work from platinum.
He said platinum be German Shepherd. Yo, this is the German Shepherd 11. Oh man, German Shepherd watch.
Yeah, platinum. Like, you mean to tell me y'all ain't trying to fuck on these bitches?
You know what I would love?
I'm trying to fuck on all these.
I would love.
Kuda got the best clip of that. Yo, that is so hilarious. Platinum be going in. He was upset. He was gonna angrily fuck on these hoes, bro. Platinum was having a heart attack moment.
Are you talking about the motivational video? Because he got, you gotta not give a fuck. You gotta fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know.
Kuda got that one. That shit is hilarious.
Like when you tired and you gotta run that last mile and you need to push, play that shit.
That nigga gave a whole damn Rocky speech about fucking on these bitches. Like,
yeah.
Somebody needs to take that and put it against different backdrops, different covers, yo. I'm dead ass serious. That'll be he should put that on TikTok, man. That shit'll blow the fuck up. You gotta fuck that. Don't be a bitch, nigga. Dude.
Yo, that would be great. Underneath this track right here, play his audio underneath this track, and you gotta go out there and you gotta get these bitches and you gotta make them submit and you gotta fuck these hoes. Like, this is Platinum's lane right here.
I need to get that clip.
Yeah,
I know that shit will go.
Yeah, we got it. If Platinum haven't covered this, somebody make sure they send this to Platinum. Yeah, he got to get on this. But all right, yeah, that's it. I've seen all I can take. Let me get
what they should do is I would love for somebody to do a reality show where they do a makeover. They do what they call reverse thottery. Like, can you exercise the thought? Not mentally, but like make these chicks either look presentable. So you actually put some money.
Man.
A couple of them chicks you can plug out there, and then like you say, oh, can we actually put some? What do they look like with black hair? Because they've done this with studs. Like, some chicks that are like studs, and then when they actually look like females. Like when they want to be.
Well, here's
like
the thing.
The Brat wore her dress. Remember that famous thing when the Brat wore the dress that one year?
The niggas still talk about that. You niggas, that's all it take. Not you, but you know how these niggas are. Yeah, man, I fucked the Brat. I know what shit like.
They tried to clean those chicks up and put them in a nice conservatively, put together gown or pantsuit or whatever the hell. It don't matter. The way that they stand, the way that they hold their mouth when they just sitting there thinking. They can't do nothing regular. Like
that would be a great reality show. Could you imagine a charm school to try to fix these chicks? It'd be a light-skinned black chick, somebody that's like the charm Nazi, Roller Cutno. Like, we gonna fix your ass. Like, hey, you pay them, they'll go through it. Yo, that'd be a show. I would actually check that shit out. It goes back to what you said about how they standing. No, you can't stand. You gotta stand like, bitch, close your legs. Cause they want to have their legs wide open because they act like dudes. You get a couple of studs in there. Yo, that actually would be a good show, yo. That'd be
but some of them, it's like they do everything ratchet. Like, you feel like this. You ever seen a gay dude where he do everything gay? Like if he looked to see what time it is, he like do it. He flipped his hair when he looked over there. It's like some gay dudes just do everything gay, and some ratchet chicks, they just do everything ratchet. Like, you cannot clean them up. It don't matter how you dress them or what they do. They're going to do it ratchet.
The show is called Fix This House. It's like fix or flip. It's like fix this bitch. Fix or flip. For real. No. Like, yo, I'm like,
can you fix and flip this bitch in 6 weeks?
No,
you got 6 weeks to fix and flip this bitch.
Somebody gonna
making a pitch for unpimp my bitch. Like, that's what you
Tariq Nasheed is the host. Like,
right. We're gonna get you from the block. We're gonna get you from the block down the aisle in 6 weeks max. If we can't do it, you get your money back.
Yeah, I mean, shit. People will watch that shit. Yo, that would be that would be an internet show. People will watch that shit, man. Shit, you go fix this. Or some nigga talk about, yeah, man, I'm gonna pay you money. Fix my bitch, pimp my bitch. Yeah, or what's his name? Sinful the P could be the host. Yeah, because he'll be able to convince these chicks. We gonna get you from being a bottom bitch to the top of the line. We gonna get you ready to be an escort so you can get these high level dudes.
Oh,
and
I
if
thought
you do right, you'll be in Dubai.
Okay, see, I didn't know they was going from being bottom level bitches to top shelf bitches. I thought they was going. I thought you were trying to take them from not looking like they sell pussy.
I'm talking about several shows at this point.
Okay.
Because some women wouldn't go for wanting to be different. So for the women that don't want to do that, then you sell them that shit. And then because they're so ratchet, they don't go they want to be rehabilitated. So you don't want to be rehabilitated. Fine, we'll take you to being a better who you already are. Okay. So you can do what the real city girls do. Cause you think the city girls are able to get money out of them niggas doing what the fuck you do? We can get you maybe looking like a sweetie chick so you can get a Russell Wilson nigga. How about that? Okay. And they buy into that, and that you push them to Sinful to P because he can speak in that language. To keep them in that. So it's somebody so this is how you do it. You got a host. Then you actually got somebody that actually goes through it's kind of like what's the show Bar Rescue, Bitch Rescue. Have you ever seen Bar Rescue? You gotta see.
Yeah, I have.
It's like that. It's like it was like clean this shit out, clean this bitch. Like you guys like that. If y'all haven't seen
you need Gordon Ramsay. You gotta get Gordon Ramsay on these hoes. That's what you really asking for.
And it's gonna be a black woman. The woman that did the black dude is just the host, but the woman is the one that actually does. So it'd be two people. It's the host, and then it's like if y'all don't know Lori Cutno, like she don't play with these chicks. It's kind of like somebody like that. And then you have other coaches. Like this is where April Mason comes in and and so you got different personalities. Women will buy into that bullshit. I'm telling you. They get or they'd hate watch it. Either way, it makes money.
One or the other. It'll be a hit. But hey, I gotta get the hell out of here. Ed, I do gotta formally thank you. You didn't know we was doing this. It was impromptu, but the beginning of the stream at least was based off was predicated off a stream that you did and you showed up. You answered the call on the fly. So I do appreciate you coming up. Conservative as usual, you know the deal. You
caught me at the right dude. You caught literally. I was checking my email when I saw that shit. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll click it." You caught me. At the right
I watched you drop the video live yesterday, and you know how like we all probably know the whole weird search for content. Sometimes you just don't know what to talk about, and I had different stuff set up, and then you dropped the video, and I was like, "Oh no, this is juicy. We could talk about this. We can go in on this because you only did like a 30-minute video, which is nothing."
Yeah, I need to stop. Yeah, nothing for me. I need to start being better about telling my videos. I'm so lazy. I just be doing ... Y'all figure it out when you get here.
Yeah,
bro. You just literally put 3 dots as your title. You ain't shit for that.
And you low key trying to take YouTube a little more serious now. You've been trying, but you still be on some ... Just don't give a damn. I ain't spell checking this shit. Whatever. But you kind of taking it. I mean, I noticed you've been kind of taking it a little.
No, I relapsed. I got to get back to it because as soon as you said I like what you're doing, I said fuck that. I started going into the nigga shit with the car. Look, and by the way, I forget what TJ Randolph. She doing the same thing where you got the dashboard as the screen pick. I said, damn, I fuck her. You started to spread. I'm fucking everybody up. Anyway, I know you got to go, man. It's Saturday. Saturday's go by quick.
Yep, I got to get out of here. But all right, y'all. Peace, everybody. Peace, everybody. Thank you. We out of here.